You don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Dead up perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up the better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the second part of What If Naruto Enters My Little Pony? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Hussbek on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Nightmare Moon fired bolts of lightning which Naruto darted left and right to avoid. He leapt at her and spun to use a chakra terahoipu to attack, but she dodged by flying into the air. "Grovel before me, foolish pony," yelled the dark mare, releasing a shower of meteorites upon the ninja. Naruto quickly fired a barrage of chakra projectiles at the incoming meteorites, destroying all of them much to the mare's surprise. Where did he get this power? It doesn't feel like magic but something else, she thought, but quickly had to dodge when Naruto threw his chakram at her, barely clipping her mane. "Try to avoid this," Nightmare Moon shouted out, releasing another shower of meteorites, only that they are much bigger than the first one. Thinking quickly, Naruto formed two large chakra arms and began to pummel at the meteorites, breaking them into many pieces before forming two chakra tendrils to wrap around the last one. He swung it round before sending it back at the alicorn, landing a hit. Think of Spider-Man's hammer throw. Nightmare Moon got up and charged at Naruto with her horn glowing with a dark aura, and he responded in kind with his Chikurahan Suioku, with both sides clashing and being knocked back by the ensuing explosion from the two energy. "You are an interesting pony, why don't you join me and together we shall rule over Equestria," said Nightmare Moon, trying to tempt the ninja. "Thanks for the offer but I'm happy with what I currently have," said Naruto while sticking his tongue at the mare. "How dare you refuse my offer," shouted Nightmare Moon, who then released a beam of black magic at Naruto. Knowing that there is no way that he could this attack, Naruto called out to his glaive, "Kozai no Jichenji, Shirudo." The glaive glowed brightly and faded to reveal a red shield with the symbol of a white maelstrom. It is shaped like the Hylian shield. The shield immediately hovered in front of Naruto and deflected. Naruto smiled as he got an idea to use a technique and got ready to execute it. When the smoke cleared, Nightmare Moon to find the ninja only to see no trace of him. Then she heard a sound and looked up to see Naruto diving towards her with hoof that formed a chakra hand and was holding a spinning orb of energy. "Rasengan!" Naruto called out his attack before slamming into her and sent her crashing into a wall. What is Naruto without his Rasengan? "I will not lose to a pony like you!" Nightmare Moon yelled out, releasing the largest amount of magic that she has. "Whoa, I don't think Luna has much time left, so I have to hurry. I guess I would have to use that," thought Naruto. He began to channel his chakra from within himself before raising his head to the sky and yelling out, "Chikuraba Sutamoto." Immediately, his body seemed to explode with white aura, creating a pillar of light that could be seen from a far distance. When it died down, it revealed Naruto to have changed physically. The color of his mane and tail had changed to white and had become longer and flowing in the wind. His eyes are glowing with a white aura, and the shield had reverted to the glaive, but this time there were two that hovered in midair by his sides, like Sora's keyblades in final form but in parallel. "Now then, let's continue from where we left off," said Naruto, dashing towards Nightmare Moon. Nightmare Moon wasn't exactly having the night of her life, as she is constantly launching her attacks at the Enigma and only getting a few hits in while he is laying the pressure on her with his. The evil alicorn unleashed black orbs that surrounded Naruto to strike him down, but he spun with his two glaives, Gyuribo Bofu, destroying all of them before they could make contact. Wait, could he be delaying me so as to let those Mares get their hooves on the elements? I won't let succeed, thought Nightmare Moon before transforming into purple mist and flying off. DMN. She figured out the plan. I gotta get to the others fast, thought Naruto before running after her. Meanwhile, Twilight and the others had found the elements and was focusing her magic on them, trying to find the spark needed to activate them. She continued trying to do so when Nightmare Mare busted in, knocking them all back to the other side of the room. "I won't let you use the elements against me," shouted Nightmare Moon, launching a bolt of lightning at the orbs, shattering them into pieces. "No! The elements of harmony!" Twilight cried out. "Ha ha ha ha! With the elements destroyed, the night will last forever," laughed Nightmare Moon. Twilight was about to fall into despair when the voice of Naruto rang inside her head, "You are not alone," and she turned to look at the Mares before standing and glared at Nightmare Moon with determination in her eyes. "You think you have destroyed the elements of harmony? You are wrong, for the spirits of the elements are right here." "What?" shouted Nightmare Moon with fear in her voice. "Applejack, who reassured me when I was in doubt, represents the spirit of honesty. Fluttershy, who tamed the manticore with her compassion, represents the spirit of kindness. Pinkie Pie, who banished fear by giggling in the face of danger, represents the spirit of laughter. Rarity, who calmed a sorrowful serpent with meaningful gift, represents the spirit of generosity. And Rainbow Dash, who could not abandon her friends for her own heart's longing, represents the spirit of loyalty." The broken shards began to glow and flew to their respective owners. "The spirits of the 5 ponies got us through every challenge you threw at us." Nightmare Moon took a step back in fear but still spoke up to hide it, "But you still don't have the 6th element. The spark didn't work." "But it did," said Twilight, "a different kind spark. I felt it the very moment I realized how happy I was to hear you, to see you, how much I cared about you," turning to look at her friends, "the spark that ignited inside me when I realized that you all," then looking at Nightmare Moon, "are my friends." A bright light shone above, drawing every pony's attention to see an orb which is revealed to be the 6th element of harmony as it descended and hovered above Twilight's head. "You see, Nightmare Moon, when the elements are ignited by the spark. The spark that resides in us all, it creates the 6th element. The element of magic." The shards glowed brightly and transformed into golden necklaces with gems resembling their respective owners' cutie mark, and the orb transformed into a tiara with Twilight's cutie mark on it before settling on her head. Nightmare Moon tried to attack with a bolt of lightning, but it was deflected by a white projectile which was fired by Naruto, who landed front the Mares, surprising them with his current appearance. "You! Just who are you?" she shouted. Naruto smirked and declared in a loud voice. "I am Naruto Uzumaki, former ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village, former container of the 9-tailed fox." As he said those words, a glow appeared on his flank and faded to reveal the mark of a white vortex. And soon after, the necklaces as well as Twilight's tiara glowed and specks of lights came out of them. They floated to Naruto and formed another necklace with a gem bearing the image of his newly acquired cutie mark. He heard a voice in his head and smiled before continuing, "And I, who strive for love and salvation, represent the spirit of purity. Now it's time for the CLMX." Naruto levitated above the Mares and held up his front hooves where a rune containing the colors of the elements of harmony. The magic of the element bearers gathered at the rune before Naruto took aim at Nightmare Moon and called out the attack, "Take this, Hamaniburasudo," before firing a rainbow-colored beam at the alicorn, who cried out in dismay. When Naruto landed on the ground, he reverted back to normal and chuckled, "Show's over," before fainting along with the others. When he woke up, Naruto saw that the Mares are waking up as well and turned to where Nightmare Moon was to see a familiar alicorn on the floor. Naruto quickly galloped over to check if she is alright. "Princess Luna, are you okay?" asked Naruto, nudging her awake. "Naruto? Naruto," said Luna before getting and hugging the blonde stallion, much to his embarrassment. "I told you that I would definite save after all, I promised," said Naruto while blushing from the close contact with the princess, while the Mares felt a bit jealous at the display. Suddenly a bright light appeared from one of the windows. Every pony looked to see the sun finally rise on the sun, and the light changed its form to reveal a tall and slender white pony. She is an alicorn with a coat of pure white and mane and tail with the colors of the rainbow different from rainbow dashes. She wears a golden collar with a purple gem embedded in it and a golden crown. She has a cutie mark of the sun on her flank. Realizing who she is, Naruto bowed down along with the other Maras while Twilight approached her happily. "Princess Celestia," said Twilight joyfully while hugging the alicorn. Naruto stood by Luna, who looked happy as well as worried. "I believe that is Princess Celestia, your older sister." Naruto asked Luna, who nodded. "You shouldn't be worried about what happened back then because I'm sure she understands." "Princess Luna," said Celestia as she approached Luna. Luna hesitated but walked up to her sister after receiving encouragement from Naruto. "It has been 1,000 years since I have seen you like this," smiling gently. "Time to put our differences behind us. We were meant to rule together, little sister. Will you accept my friendship?" Hearing this, Luna teared up and hugged Celestia. "I am so sorry. I missed you, big sister." Celestia also teared up as she embraced her sister. "I missed you too." Naruto smiled gently at the scene and thought of how it would be when he and Scutalo become family. Celestia turned to Naruto and the Maras. "I wish to thank you all for saving my sister, especially you," said Celestia looking at Naruto. "It's nothing really, I mean I promised to help her," said Naruto, rubbing the back of his head before giving the white alicorn a foxy grin which she thought to be cute. "My, aren't you a modest pony? What is your name?" asked Princess Celestia. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki and I am the new bearer of the element of purity," said Naruto. Celestia was surprised at hearing of a new element. "I think we should return to Ponyville to check on everything, then I'll tell you my story." With that, every pony was transported to Ponyville with Celestia's magic. Upon returning to Ponyville, many ponies of the town cheered at the return of Princess Celestia as well as the revival of Princess Luna as they rode in the golden chariot followed by Naruto and the other Maras. Naruto was feeling a bit uncomfortable since he had never received praise from a large number of people. Looking away from them, Naruto noticed that Twilight Sparkle had a sad look on her face as they walked to the town hall. "Twilight, why are you feeling so down?" said Naruto, drawing the attention of the others. "It's just that after finally making friends with you and the others, I would have to go back to Canterlot," Twilight said sadly. Hearing that, Naruto became depressed as well since he enjoys having her around despite the short time they spent together. Looking at Applejack and the other Maras, they were also feeling sad at the thought of being separated. Hearing what Twilight said, Celestia told Spike to take up a pen and paper to write, "I, Princess Celestia, hereby decree that my student Twilight Sparkle is to remain in Ponyville to learn about friendship with the element bearers as well as study on the new element of harmony and send reports about her research," said Celestia, smiling gently as Twilight hugged her in happiness. Naruto and the Maras were happy at not having to be separated. Pinkie Pie was about to dash off before Naruto used his tail to grab her. "Now hold on there, party planner, remember I said that I would tell you my story after the battle with Nightmare Moon," said Naruto, bringing their attention to him. "But before we leave, I will need Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle and Scutalo to come along. They should also hear of this as I don't like keeping secrets from those I care about." As soon as the fillies arrived, Princess Celestia used her magic to teleport them to the royal castle. The Maras, especially Rarity, were excited to be there but calmed down since they wanted to learn more about their friend. After being led to the throne room, everyone turned to Naruto to begin his story. "So tell us about your life before coming to Ponyville," said Celestia with Luna standing next to her wanting to learn about the stallion who saved her. "Geez, I don't know where to begin," Naruto was saying when his glaive appeared in a flash of light. "Cozy, I know, huh? But I didn't call you out." The glaive glowed brightly, forcing every pony to close their eyes. When they opened them, they were standing in a forest with a large tree at the center of it. "Where are we?" asked Rainbow looking around. "This is my mindscape, Cozy, I know. Thought it would be better that I show you my memories of my past life, so it drew all of you in," said Naruto, who stood at the bottom of the large tree. "You mean you had a past life before you came to Equestria?" said Rarity with a look of surprise. "Yes, back then, I used to be a human in my world like this, said Naruto, transforming into his human form, surprising the others. I read about creatures called humans in the books. There used to be some in Equestria, but they all disappeared without a trace, said Twilight. It would seem that they disappeared to other worlds. I was there when it happened, said Princess Celestia, with Luna agreeing. Well, in my world I used to live in a land called the Elemental Nations, and there are villages called the 5 shinobi villages where ninjas live, said Naruto. You mean those warriors who fight in the shadows, use smoke to hide and all those cool stuff, said Pinkie Pie, bouncing around excitedly, much to Naruto's amusement. Yes, and I used to be one. I lived in the Hidden Leaf Village, which is one of the 5 shinobi villages, said Naruto, as a large mirror appeared and displayed an image of a village. As the ponies looked closer, they saw the stone faces on the mountain was painted with, and that a younger Naruto was running away from 2 older humans whilst carrying a can of paint, to which they all laughed. Naruto, what was that all about? Asked Rainbow Dash while laughing with the others. Wondering the same thing. When I was still at the village before I became a ninja, I used to play pranks on the village to get attention, and even the high-ranked ninjas could never catch me, said Naruto with a smirk. But why strive for attention? I'm sure your parents were there to support, said Applejack. Hearing that, a look of sadness appeared on his face which gave the Mares a bad feeling. Well, to tell you the truth, a demon fox had attacked the village, and my father, who was the village leader, along with my mother, sacrificed their lives to seal it away in a newborn baby, which was me, and died believing that I would be treated as a hero, but the villagers believed that I was the reincarnation of the fox and mistreated me since then, said Naruto. Upon hearing that, the Mares were shocked. Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie and the fillies began to cry, wondering why something like that should happen to a pony like him. So that's why you always support me, because you know the feeling of loneliness, thought Scootaloo. It's a surprise that you didn't fall to darkness like any pony would have. How come? Said Celestia, to which Naruto smiled gently. It's because I met people who saw me for who I am and not for what I contain. They also taught me that when I want to protect those precious to me, that's when you gain true strength, said Naruto, while looking the Mares, especially Luna, who nodded in understanding. Afterward, Naruto showed them his memories from his first mission, the invasion, which frightened Fluttershy a bit when they watched him against a boy who was also a container like Naruto, the battle against Orochimaru, until they reached his last memory. What happened here, Naruto? Asked Rarity, who was pointing at the image of Naruto facing off against his teammate. Back at the ninja exam, Sasuke had received a cursed seal from that snake which gave him power but corrupted him as well, and with his longing to avenge his clan, it made him leave the village to join Orochimaru in order to gain more power, said Naruto. I believe you went after him in order to bring him back to the village since he is your friend as well as your teammate, said Twilight. Naruto nodded in response. I was assigned to a squad to bring him back, and we split up to face each of Orochimaru's elites till I was the last one to catch up with Sasuke. I tried to reason with him but he wouldn't listen, so we fought, said Naruto, as the memory of the battle was displayed. The battle escalated when he used the power of the cursed seal, forcing me to use the power of the 9-tailed fox to fight back, and in the end we clashed with our best techniques, with him killing me, but I knocked him out. Then how did you come to Equestria? Asked Luna, trying to hold back tears along with the Mares, who were sad at how things turned out for the blonde stallion. When I died, I met Kami-sama, who is the god of my world. She asked me what I wanted to do with the soul of the 9-tailed fox, which I requested to be sent back to its own world, as I found out that the fox was under someone's control when he attacked the village. That's also when Kozai no Ha appeared and chose me to be its wielder, and the fox unlocked my power as sign of apology before I was reborn in Equestria, said Naruto. But Naruto, don't you miss them back in your world? Asked Fluttershy worriedly. It's true that I miss them, however I have you all who are precious to me, and I will be with you forever, and that's a promise, said Naruto with a foxy grin, making the fillies run up to Naruto and hug him. The Mares were also happy to hear that he cares about them very much. Is the power the fox gave you the one you used back at the Evertree Forest? Asked Twilight. Yes, it enables me to use my chakra to form anything as well as enhance my physical abilities. Also I can use magic, but I need to learn how. I'm sure you could teach me, said Naruto, to which she nodded. My Kozai no Ha is a special glaive that can transform into anything I wish during battle, and I am still training to mstr its power. Soon the glaive glowed brightly again and they were back in the throne room and returned itself back to Naruto. So what will you do now, Naruto? Will you travel throughout the land? Asked Applejack with a hint of sadness that is mirrored by the other Mares and fillies. Naruto shook his head in negative. No, I am rather happier staying in Ponyville with you all, as you are all precious to me. Besides, I promise to spend a day with each of you, said Naruto with a foxy grin, making the Mares blush at the thought of spending time alone with the stallion. After giving Princess Celestia the elements of harmony, Naruto and the Mares were transported back to Ponyville, not before he promised to visit every once in a while. It had been a couple of days since the battle against Nightmare Moon. Things had settled down at Ponyville. Since Twilight, Sparkle and Spike now live in the library, Naruto took a temporal residence at the Apple family's home, much to Applejack's joy and the envy of the other Mares. Naruto is currently on his bed thinking deeply about what he plans on how he will spend the days with one of the Mares. I wonder what I should do. Thought Naruto, then he looked at the crystals and scrolls that lay on top of the table. Whenever he got time, Naruto would practice on his Fuinjutsu and study the crystals that had piqued his curiosity. Normally the crystal would be transparent, but when he channels his chakra or magic into them, they change colors and then revert back to normal. As for his Fuinjutsu, he would normally use his chakra arms to draw, but lately started using his tail as it is more accurate and clearer. He came on a dead end when he realized that only he could properly use the seals, but theorized that magic could serve as a substitute but needs a medium, which he found in the crystals. Maybe using Fuinjutsu on the crystals would give them a special effect like storage, heating and much more, he thought, but decided to think about it later since he has to spend time with one of the main six tomorrow. Next day, with Pinkie Pie. The next day, Naruto headed to the town square to meet up with Pinkie Pie to spend time together. When he got there, she was nowhere to be seen. For Pinkie not to be here must mean that she is going to surprise me from out of nowhere, since I always fail to detect her despite being a ninja. Naruto signed in resignation. Sure enough, he was tackled to the ground by a pink blur which revealed to be the excitable mare. Hiya Naru. I'm so happy to see you, so what are we going to do today? Plan a party. Run all over the place. Ha, 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 said Pinkie Pie, bouncing around. Actually Pinks, I was planning that we have fun cooking something for each over. After all, you always treat me to the snacks at the Sugar Cube corner, so I want to do the same for you, and I want you to try out the food from my world, although it will be a bit different from the original, said Naruto while using his tail to lift Pinkie from him in order to get up from the ground. Okay Naru. Let's go to the Sugar Cube corner since it's closed for the day. I'm sure whatever you cook will taste great, and I'm also going to bake a cake so that we can eat together, so let's go, said Pinkie Pie before grabbing Naruto and dragging him to the sweet shop, much to the amusement of the ponies around. When they got to the shop, Pinkie immediately began on preparing the cake while Naruto watched from a distance. Whoa, Pinkie really knows how to work her way around the place. That bears testament to how skilled she is at baking, thought Naruto as he looked on for a while but then got up and approached Pinkie. Hey Pinks, mind if I lend a hoof? I'm that it will be quicker and more fun that way, said Naruto, and was then hugged by Pinkie. You're right Naru, it will definitely be more fun that way, so let's get started, said Pinkie Pie. Soon, they went on at the preparations. It was going smoothly, but chaos reared its head when Naruto playfully flicked a bit of batter from the spoon at Pinkie, which landed on her face. Retaliating, she flicked a bit of batter back at him. Soon the exchange turned into all-out war, resulting in a messy kitchen and the duo laughing at each other. Feeling curious at how the batter tasted, Naruto licked it of Pinkie's face, which left her blushing, making him blush as well. Sorry about that, my curiosity got the better of me, said Naruto while rubbing the back of his head. It's okay Naru, I would have done the same just for fun, said Pinkie smiling, although her heart was beating very fast. After cleaning the kitchen, the duo continued until they put it into the oven. Now that it's in the oven, watch me cook the greatest dish gifted to humans by the gods, ramen, said Naruto with pride while Pinkie watched from a distance. Thanks to helping Tuchi and Ayam in cooking the ramen at Ichiraku, he was well knowledge in cooking the dish and soon the soup was bubbling on the stove and is about to work on the dough. Now watch a MSTR at work. Naruto called out to Pinkie Pie who looked on in excitement. Naruto formed a Rasengan with a chakra arm which amazed Pinkie and slammed it onto the mixture which began to spin and stir until the technique faded away. With the spinning of the Rasengan, the ingredients would be evened out and make the noodles more tasty, said Naruto. Then he formed another chakra arm and proceeded to PND it until it was tough. With that the dough is now firm enough to be made into strings without breakage, said Naruto. Then he began to twist and stretch until it's in strings before using the Chikurahan Surashu to cut them. I applied what he, Chuji and Sakura did on episode 168. That's so cool with what you did Naru, I've never seen anything like it, said Pinkie Pie who was amazed by the display. Thanks Pinks, now all we have to do is boil the noodles in hot water and then we are all set, said Naruto smiling. After the ramen was ready and the cake had cooled down, they carried them to the table. You may have the first taste Pinks, I'm sure it will be unforgettable, said Naruto with anticipation. Pinkie took a bite of the ramen and had a shocked look on her face which worried Naruto until he saw sparkles in eyes. Wow! This has to be the tastiest I've ever had aside from muffins, the others have to try it, said Pinkie who was barely able to contain herself. Sure but for now it's just you and me, so let's have some of the cake that you made, said Naruto. After eating the cake and ramen, he bade farewell to the excitable mare and went back to rest for the next day. Next day, with Rainbow Dash. Naruto was heading towards the highest hill in the town where he and Rainbow Dash often meet up to chat and have fun. As he was trotting to the meeting place, Naruto sensed a slight disturbance in the air and spun to the side and he used his tail to stretch out to catch a blue blur before it introduced itself to the ground. You really need to work on your landings after all you are the best flyer around, said Naruto with a smirk at the Pegasus who was blushing in embarrassment. Sorry about that Naruto, I was trying to surprise you before you get to our usual spot, said Rainbow Dash with a grin. You know if you were a Pegasus I wonder who the fastest in the air would be since you've proven to be the fastest on the ground. I'm sure that I would lose to you, besides it's not like I would form my hold on this gives me an idea, said Naruto as a look of realization appeared on his face. He closed his eyes and focused on his chakra before calling out Chikura no Tsubasa, then a pair of wings made of chakra appeared from his back. After flapping them wings to get a feel of them, Naruto turned to Rainbow Dash who had a look of surprise. Can I get some flying lessons from an accomplished flyer such as yourself, said Naruto with a grin. Sue Thing, come on let's get to the hill and I'll show you the basics, said Rainbow Dash with excitement and dragged him to the hill. Why do I always get dragged around, thought Naruto but wasn't bothered about it much to his surprise. Soon Rainbow Dash had Naruto learning how to use his new wings to fly and after a few tries, he was able to take off and learned how to glide, ascend and land although he crashed on his first attempt, making Rainbow Dash laugh at him calling it karma. After some more training, Naruto became proficient in the ability to fly which surprised Rainbow Dash. Whoa Naruto, you aren't a Pegasus and yet you are flying like one who has been able to do so his whole life, said Rainbow Dash who was flying beside him. I was thinking the same thing but it feels right. Hey Dash I just got some ideas on aerial acrobatics which I'm sure the Wonderbolts have never come up with, said Naruto. Really? What are these ideas of yours? Asked Rainbow Dash with excitement. Just follow my lead and do what I do, said Naruto who then picked up speed and rose to the sky. Rising to the sky, Naruto flapped his wings and tucked himself in and flipped forward several times and then looped backwards to maintain his flight. Rainbow Dash did the same and was able to pull it off with little error. Naruto then tucked his wings, making him go into a free fall while doing a barrel roll, then he quickly pulled up and ascended to the sky with great speed. Now you try it out but be careful with the free fall, said Naruto. Sure thing Naruto, I'm sure I'll get it in the first try like the other one, said Rainbow Dash with confidence. She tried the maneuver but then Naruto realized that she won't be able to break out of the free fall early enough, so he quickly dove after Rainbow Dash and caught her on his back before she crashed to the ground. "I'm sorry about messing that move up," said Rainbow Dash sadly, but Naruto shook his head. "It's not your fault, that move was tricky, so all we need to do is practice at it until you can even do it in your sleep," said Naruto with a foxy grin, making the mare blush at his smile and the close contact with his body. "He feels quite warm to the touch," thought Rainbow Dash. Resuming on the practice, Naruto came up with the idea of having Rainbow Dash fly behind him and then overtake him like a slingshot, which he called drafting, which he told her is great strategy to use in a race or competition. Then the duo began to create combination moves. One such example is the dual tornado, where they fly in circles at high speed, which creates a tornado capable of drawing in anything within its range. "With these moves, I'm sure that we'll be in the Wonderbolts. I'm sure they will let you join since you can form your own wings," said Rainbow Dash happily. "Maybe, but right now we need to perfect them. Anyway, it's getting late, so I'll see you later," said Naruto, who decided to walk back. After saying goodbye to each other, Rainbow Dash and Naruto headed back to their homes to rest. Next day, with Fluttershy. The next morning, Naruto had arrived at Fluttershy's home carrying a picnic basket, and Ao the Blue Jay was sitting on his head as usual, who also wanted to spend the day with the both of them. Knocking on the door, he waited until it was opened by the shy mare. "Hello Naruto," stuttered Fluttershy, although she was happy to see him. He was about to reply when he was suddenly tackled to the ground by the animals, who were happy to see he blonde stallion. Please be careful or you might hurt him." "Hello Fluttershy, I was hoping that we would go out and have a picnic. Oh, and the others can along as well since I've packed enough for everyone," said Naruto happily. Unable to say anything since her shyness took over, Fluttershy could only nod while the animals were ecstatic at being allowed to come along. Later Naruto led the group to a large oak tree that grew on the top of tall hill overlooking the town. "This is one of my favorite spots as its view reminds me of the view I would get when standing at the top of the Hokage monument back at the Hidden Leaf Village." Do you miss your old home?" asked Fluttershy. "Yeah, I miss my old friends and there are times I wish that I would visit it once," said Naruto with a look of sadness which made the shy Pegasus feel a little guilty until she saw him smile at her. "But I am happy because I have formed bonds with you, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, Twilight Sparkle and every pony else here. But enough reminiscing, let's have some fun." Naruto had brought along a ball to play with the animals and soon they played a game of catch. They were able to convince Fluttershy to join in, which made her happy. But then one of the birds had injured one of its wings and Fluttershy had forgotten to bring her first aid kit. She was about to fly back to the house when Naruto stopped her. "Hold on Shy. I should be able to heal this level of injury," said Naruto. Then he channeled bit of his chakra to his front hoof over the bird's wing, healing it within a few seconds. It tweeted happily and flew to his head, making Ao glare with jealousy. "Bachan had taught me how to use my chakra to heal small injuries when I don't have a first aid kit," said Naruto. Fluttershy sighed in relief as she was worried for the bird's health. After eating the lunch Naruto brought with him, Fluttershy saw him bring out a strange instrument which piqued her curiosity. "Naruto what kind of instrument is that?" she asked. "This is an ocarina, it's like a flute but with more holes. I like to play music as it calms my nerves and makes me relax, and I'm good at different types of music. Would you like to listen?" Naruto said. Fluttershy and the animals nodded. Then he formed his chakra arms to hold it and began to play a tune, In Your Belief from Azura's Wrath OST, from the ocarina. As he played, Fluttershy and the animals began to relax and the winds carried the melody throughout Ponyville, and any pony who heard it felt at peace. A certain light gray Pegasus who was at her home heard it as well. "This melody makes me feel calm, as if there is nothing to worry about. I wonder who is playing it. I hope to meet the pony," she thought. Meanwhile upstairs a filly looks out of a window when she heard the song as well. "I feel warm and happy listening to this song. I wish Mom and I would meet this pony. I hope it's a stallion," she thought happily before going to bed, using the song as a lullaby. Elsewhere a dark gray earth pony listened to the song with interest. Whoever is playing this song is quite talented. I hope to meet this pony at an opportune time, she thought before trotting away. Back with Naruto, when he finished playing the song he looked around to see that all of the animals had fallen asleep, then he saw Fluttershy sleeping while leaning onto him and his tail had subconsciously curled around her. It didn't take long until Fluttershy woke up and noticed how close she is with the stallion. She let out an eep, before hiding behind the oak tree trying to hide her blush. "SSS sorry about sleeping on you Naruto," said Fluttershy while peeking from behind the tree. "It's fine Shy, I'm okay with it," said Naruto with a foxy grin. Her behavior is just like Hinata but it doesn't bother me at all, he thought. "Let's wake the others up and I'll escort you home." Fluttershy nodded in agreement. Soon Naruto saw her off at her home before heading home. Next day, with Rarity. Naruto had arrived at the Carousel boutique to meet with Rarity. Knocking on the door it was open to reveal the white unicorn. "Hello Naruto, it's good to see you. I was just thinking of you," said Rarity smiling happily. "Hi Rare, good to see you too and please stop teasing me," said Naruto while blushing in embarrassment. Rarity giggled softly at the blonde stallion's reaction. "Anyway, I will need your help in making some clothes for a special event at Canterlot and I hope to learn of your clothes from your world," said Rarity. "Sure thing Rare, I even need your help in making some clothes plus I've got some ideas for you," said Naruto getting himself ready to help out Rarity. Later on, Naruto served as Rarity's mannequin as she used her magic to use her tools to fit the fabrics as well as measure them and cut to size. "So far so good but it seems that we are low on gems but we are close to the deadline," said Rarity with a look of worry. "Don't worry Rare, I know just the substitute, just wait a bit," said Naruto before galloping out of the shop making the white unicorn wonder what he is up to. It wasn't long when Naruto returned with his satchel which he opened to reveal the crystals. "Where did you get such appealing crystals Naruto? I've never seen them before whenever I go out gem collecting," asked Rarity who looked mesmerized at the sight of the crystals. "I found them in the cave I woke up from and it seems like they are special cause when I channeled either my chakra or magic they change color so I am researching on them but I can spare these," said Naruto with a smile. "Thank you Naruto. With these crystals, this would be one of my greatest works yet," said Rarity who jumped at Naruto and hugged him and nuzzled his face which rubbed his whisker marks making him purr. After a minute, they separated from each other blushing bright red. "WWL let's get back to work shall we?" "Why yeah let's hurry so that we can start on the ideas I have," said Naruto shaking his head as if to clear his thoughts. They resumed on making the clothes then they finished and wrapped them in parcels for DLVRY. "Now that we are done with the requests, I needed your help in making some clothes." "Of course dear, so what are we making?" said Rarity with a twinkle in her eye. Soon the duo had made a hoodie jacket which was black and orange with a red spiral on the back. Consider the base design from Naruto's Shippuden outfit, a long coat with a hood with a black color with red flames and a kanji for purity, Naruto's coat from Sage Mode, and a pair of goggles which he now wears around his neck. "These clothes look very good on you, makes you quite the handsome stallion." "Then that makes me the most handsome stallion alongside the most appealing mare of Ponyville," Naruto teased playfully making Rarity blush at the thought of it. "Anyway, I'll see you around." After leaving the boutique and on the way back to the house, Naruto thought to himself, "I'll need to get back to the cave to get more of the crystals and place a seal on it to prevent trespassers from discovering it." Next day, with Applejack. Naruto woke up early next morning to spend the day with Applejack so he put on his new jacket went downstairs to have breakfast with the Apple family. "Good morning everyone," said Naruto. Everyone turned and smiled at the appearance of the stallion. Ever since he moved in, it was never a dull moment with him as he always livened things up with his personality and antics. Granny Smith often says that he could become part of the family for real by marrying Applejack which embarrasses both ponies, making them blush red like the apples in the farm. "Howdy Naruto, aren't you looking dandy today? You got those clothes from Rarity right?" "'Cause she is the only one to do so," said Applejack admiring the new look on the blonde stallion. Thanks AJ, Rare and I made them together since I felt that I need a wardrobe change since I didn't have much choice of clothes back at where I came from, said Naruto, making the mare nod in understanding as they don't need any pony to learn of his origins. Ready for the usual apple bucking, said Naruto as he headed for the fields with Apple Bloom riding on his back as usual. Sure thing Naruto, I'm right behind ya and there is something I want to ask from you, said Applejack who was close behind. Okay. After we finish with the chores then you can ask me what you need, said Naruto taking position under a tree to bucket in order to knock down some apples. After Big Mac joined in bucking the apples. The trio worked on gathering the apples and then they went to the stall to sell their daily wares and when they were done, Applejack led Naruto to the field. So what is it you want to ask of me AJ? Asked Naruto with a lot of curiosity. Well the thing is that I was hoping that you could teach me how to fight with your fighting style, said Applejack nervously. Naruto looked surprised but then asked seriously. Why do you want me to teach you Ponyado? It's because I want to be able to protect my family and friends from harm because I care about them, said Applejack while looking determined, to which Naruto smiled brightly. Then my answer is yes, said Naruto happily and found himself in a bear hug by Applejack who was happy to be taught. Later on, Naruto was teaching the mare the basic katas of the fighting style since he knew that she was fit to do it. Applejack, you must remember that when facing an opponent, you must be aware of your surroundings as anything can either help or obstruct you in the battle. You must also know when you must attack, defend or better yet counter, as attacking an opponent deals more damage than normal. When against an enemy who uses long-range attacks then he must be weak at close combat. A close-range opponent is helpless against long-range attacks, said Naruto. He knew how to teach due to spending time with Konohamaru, Moegi and Udon when he didn't have any missions. Is there anything else I should be aware of? Asked Applejack who was listening with rapt attention. You must be very careful when fighting against enemies who have a lot of experience as they will make it difficult for you to get a hit on them. I'm sure you remember seeing that in one of my memories, said Naruto. Applejack nodded, remembering the battle he had with Kabuto. And another thing, I want to tell you what my teacher back then told me. Those who break the rules are trash but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. Let's get going before we're late for dinner, said Naruto, helping Applejack up with his tail, and the duo headed back to the house, eat and sleep because of the training. Next day, with Twilight sparkle. Naruto was at the front of the library where Twilight and Spike now reside. Knocking on the door, it was answered by the young dragon. Hey Naruto. It's great to see you, said Spike happily. The baby dragon had taken a liking to the blonde stallion, as Naruto often drops by when Twilight is out to keep him company and treats him to the gems he finds from the caves during his explorations and enjoys the stories of Naruto's pranks from his dimension. Yo Spike, how's it going? Is Twilight around? Said Naruto, smiling at the dragon. Yeah, she is inside waiting you and I can tell she is excited to learn more about you and your powers, said Spike. Thanks Spike. Oh, I almost forgot, here is some of your favorite gems I found in a cave. Just be sure to hide from Twilight or she will fuss about me spoiling you too much, said Naruto, winking at Spike who winked back before entering inside to meet with Twilight who reading a book. Hi Twilight. How are things going for you? Said Naruto, smiling at Twilight who smiled in return. Hello Naruto, it's good to see you. Things are okay with me and I was hoping to talk to you about your powers and other things, said Twilight. No problem, so what is it you want to know? Said Naruto, who sat across the table ready to answer her questions. Well, I wanted to know about this energy that you call chakra, as I've read a lot of books but found nothing helpful, said Twilight, who had a pen and paper ready using her magic. Well, chakra is an energy created by combining physical energy and mental energy. It enables any pony who uses it to perform feats that no normal pony can perform, and it also serves as a source of life, so should one completely exhaust his chakra, he dies, said Naruto. Okay then, what can you do with chakra? Can you give me some examples? Said Twilight, writing on the paper. I've seen ninjas from different villages use their chakra to execute techniques with the elements like shoot fire, wield lightning, control water and other things. I used to create solid copies of myself in battle, and a certain elite ninja could perform illusions. however all of these techniques require us to use our hands to form a string of certain signs to perform, but there are some techniques that don't require hand signs. For example, now that I am a pony I can't use clone duplication anymore, but I can use my father's technique, the Rasengan, said Naruto, forming a chakra arm to create a spiraling ball of energy which amazed Twilight. Thanks for telling me, Naruto. I'm to learn more from you later on, so is there anything that you want to know? Said Twilight, putting the pen and paper away. Naruto thought deeply before remembering something that was at the back of his mind. Actually, I wanted to know more about magic since it is foreign to me. I already know about the basic information and how to channel it to my horn, but I need your help on how to use it. Said Naruto. I can teach you about levitation and other basics, but magic is capable of doing a lot of things as new magic is discovered everything, said Twilight, displaying an example by levitating a book from the top of a bookshelf. Naruto tried it as well and was able to levitate a book from the shelf thanks to training on his Chikura no Sosa Jujutsu, which made it easier to use his magic. Since Twilight says that you can create your own magic since there is no fixed element on a pony unlike back at the elemental nations, then I wonder if, thought Naruto. Then he asked Twilight, can you take me to where there is a lake? With a look of curiosity, Twilight teleported the both of them to a nearby lake. What do you plan to do, Naruto? He didn't answer but channeled magic to his horn, making it glow orange, and then a stream of water rose from the lake and slammed into a tree, surprising the mare. What was that? She shouted. Well, I thought of using magic to create a stream of water and it worked. I got the idea from a certain ninja I met on a mission. I think I'll call it Water Stream, said Naruto, rubbing the back of his head. Is it possible for me to learn it? Asked Twilight with a look of excitement, to which Naruto nodded. Yeah, the magic is in a way that a lot of unicorns with good control of their magic can use it, and if I come up with any more then you'll be the first to know, said Naruto. Twilight blushed at being able to learn new magic with the blonde stallion. Let's return, it's been a long day for the both of us. Soon after leaving the library, Naruto checked out the Apple's mailbox and saw a message addressed to him from Mayor Mare. Then he went to his room and opened the letter to read, and by the time he was done reading, Naruto was smiling happily. With this I can finally commence with my plan for a certain pony, he thought. Taking off his jacket, Naruto went to bed thinking of how happy a certain pony would be. It is a sunny day in Ponyville and every pony is going on with their regular duties. However, they feel as if there is something missing, and after a minute of thinking every pony realized that a certain blonde stallion hasn't been seen recently, as he would be seen trotting through the street greeting every pony with his cheerful personality. This has been noticed by Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Rarity and Twilight Sparkle as they spend the most time with the blonde stallion, so they decided to meet up to discuss this mysterious occurrence. The next day, the main six met up at the Sugar Cube corner where they gathered at the table with Pinkie Pie bringing in muffins for them to snack during the meeting. Have any of you guys noticed that Naruto has been spending less time than usual when hanging out with us? Said Twilight while thinking deeply. Whenever he comes to the library to study magic with me, he seems to have his mind wander and is always in a hurry to leave, saying that he has some urgent matters to attend to and he won't reveal what they are every time I ask, which makes me suspect that he is up to something. Even Spike says that Naruto doesn't come around these days. You're right about that, Twilight, said Rainbow Dash. Whenever I challenge Naruto to a friendly competition or want to just hang around, he always refuses, saying that he doesn't have the time to waste and he has something to do, but I don't see him doing anything for any pony in the town. Scootaloo says that Naruto has been seen carrying something in his satchel and makes sure that no pony sees what's inside, which makes me believe that he's got something going on. The Mares were surprised as they all know that Naruto is not the kind of pony who would turn down a challenge, especially from Rainbow Dash, who both are alike in so many ways since they both have a competitive nature. I've not been seeing Naru either, said Pinkie Pie, who was munching on a muffin. He hasn't been coming around the shop to help with the orders or to assist in planning on the parties. Whenever I find Naru and try our usual surprises, he just disappears, which is strange as I was always able to find and surprise him without getting caught, which is different from the normal routine, so he must be planning something, maybe a secret party. The Mares shook their heads to the conclusion that Pinkie Pie came up with, but were shocked that Naruto would be able to hide from the pink mare, as every pony knows that it is almost impossible to detect or hide from Pinkie Pie, who is practically a MSTR at surprising ponies. I haven't been seeing him too, said Fluttershy timidly. He hasn't been coming around to visit for a while, and all the animals miss as him. They really like playing with him. The birds told me that they have been seeing Naruto going in and out of town, sometimes carrying his satchel or pulling a cart that is covered with a blanket. He came around once and told me that he would be busy and let us know when he is done. Even Ao the Blue Jay hasn't been with him either. Every pony knew that all of the animals enjoys Naruto's company, which Fluttershy describes as soothing and makes them feel safe, so it must be serious for him to be visiting them. Well, Naruto has been coming to the boutique, said Rarity with a depressed look, but only when I have a deadline to meet with the ponies who ordered some clothes to be made, but after he is done he would immediately saying that he has some things to collect. Sweetie Belle would ask for his whereabouts, as he usually helps with her designs as she normally messes them up. Well, the same could be said on my side, said Applejack. Recently I've noticed that Naruto would wake up early in the morning and eat his breakfast like he is in a hurry, and would leave after he is done with the apple bucking. He even postponed my training in the ponyauto, saying that he has something going on and that we could pick up on my training later. Apple Bloom often asks what he is up to, and he would always say that it is a secret and that he would reveal it in good time, as he doesn't want to spoil the surprise, but sometimes I would notice him carrying papers containing drawings which I've never seen before. Hearing the statements, the main six came to the conclusion that Naruto is secretly doing something that he doesn't want any pony to find out, which has something to do with his going in and out of town, the strange drawings, what he carries in his satchel, and the amount of time that he spends with them. They want to find out what he is planning, whether he likes it or not. Well, I say that we keep an eye on Naruto and follow him to whatever secret he is hiding, as we are his friends and are concerned, said Rainbow Dash, to which the Mares reluctantly agreed, seeing as they don't have any other ideas. The next 2 weeks didn't go too well for the Mares, as Naruto always slips out of their radar. Whenever Pinkie tries to stalk Naruto, he would quickly disappear from her sight and leave behind a note saying, "Better luck next time." Rainbow wasn't having much luck either, despite being the fastest pony around, as Naruto would outmaneuver her and hide in different places, making her give up the search. Fluttershy would try to have the birds and animals follow his trail and scent, but it often leads to wild goose chases, as it sometimes makes them go in circles. Twilight tried to talk to Naruto in order to make him slip up about what he has been up, but he was extremely tight-lipped about it and wouldn't talk about it. Applejack didn't do anything. However, Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo tried to talk to Naruto about what he has been up to, but he would always tell them that it's a secret and would always smile at Scootaloo before leaving. This continued for a while until they finally gave up in following the blonde stallion. One morning, Applejack woke up to some pony knocking on her door and went to open it, only to find no pony there but a letter on the floor. Opening the letter, it read out, "Meet me at the town square and I'll reveal the secret, as I am well aware that you have been following me and trying to find out what I've been up since I haven't been spending much time with you, and for that I apologize. Be sure to bring along Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo, as I have a nice surprise for them as well. I would write more, but I prefer to wait until you show up to see it. Naruto." After reading the letter, Applejack immediately left for the town square with Apple Bloom, since there was no school today. When she arrived, she saw the other Mares along with the fillies who just arrived as well. "I guess y'all received the same letter I got," they all nodded to confirm. "Yeah," Naruto wrote on the letter that he would tell about this secret that he was able to keep from us, said Twilight with Spike riding on her back. "It's about time that we finally find out he has been hiding. It's been nagging me for a long time that I even have trouble sleeping," said Rainbow Dash, much to the agreement of the others. "Hey guys," said a familiar voice. The Mares looked upwards to see the evasive blonde stallion descending towards them with his chakra wings. No sooner had he landed when he was tackled to the ground by Pinkie Pie, with the fillies following suit. "Oh Naru, we really missed you. We haven't been seeing you much at all. Where have you been?" said Pinkie Pie, who has wrapped Naruto in a tight hug, making it difficult for him to breathe, so Twilight had to use her levitation spell to lift the overexcited mare from the barely alive stallion. Naruto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly and said, "Well, I wanted to surprise you all with what I had planned, but I didn't want you to spoil the surprise, which was why I prevented you from following me as well as asking me questions about it. Although I'm sorry about not spending much time with you guys, what I'm about to show you will more than make up for it. So follow me and I'll show you." With that, Naruto walked out of the town square with the Maras following close behind, curious about where they are going. It took a while until they arrived upon a sight which stunned them, as they've never seen anything like this before. "Welcome to my new humble abode. I call it the Uzumaki mansion," said Naruto while dramatically showing them the new home that was built near the outskirts of town. It is a 2-story building with an Eastern country design, Japanese in other words. There is a stone path to the mansion with a lawn of grass at both sides and an apple tree on the left side. "Come on in, I'll give you a tour." As the Maras toured through the new building, Naruto revealed to them that there are 2 bathrooms located on the 2 floors and several guest rooms on the 2nd floor, hint hint, and a balcony, a living room, a library much to Twilight's excitement, a training room at the basement, a kitchen which had a door leading to the back of the house to reveal a small garden on the right side, and a very large oak tree which had a wooden spiral staircase leading to a tree house built at the top. "I had it built so that you girls could have your CMC meetings there or to just come and hang out," said Naruto with a smile. He was tackled to ground by the fillies who were muttering "thank you" repeatedly. There was a lake at the center with a summer hut built over it. There are also some small trees and flowers planted around. "There is one last room I need to show you, as there is some I want give you all." Naruto led them back into the mansion to a room opposite the entrance to the training room. It is a room where there are tools, materials and other items on shelves and a table at the end. "This is my workroom where I make special items and examine any artifacts I might discover when I move around Equestria every once in a while." "Wow, this place is amazing. Where did you get the money to build it?" asked Rainbow Dash. "I went to Mayor with the blueprints I made and gave her some crystals which I'm sure you are familiar with." Rarity, said Naruto, pointing to the crystals on the table with his tail. "Are those the crystals you gave to me on that day?" asked Rarity, to which Naruto confirmed by nodding. "I'm sure you remember about how I study the art of Fuinjutsu?" asked Naruto, to which the Maras nodded. "Well, normally you need chakra to be able to use it, but I discovered that magic can serve as an alternate option, and these crystals produce special effects when I draw a seal on them and can recharge themselves by absorbing magic in the atmosphere." The Maras, especially Twilight, were surprised at what Naruto was telling them, as this could really help a lot of ponies. "What are the special effects when you apply these seals on them?" asked Twilight excitedly. "Well, so far I've discovered that the crystals can produce heat or light, storage without weight, and I just discovered that it can produce a barrier to guard against physical as well as magic attacks. I have even fitted them already, so hold and let me get them." Naruto went to a closet and brought out a box and placed it on the table. He took out a bracelet with a white crystal that has a symbol drawn on it attached and gave it to Twilight, who wore it on her hoof. "All you have to do is call out 'protect,' and it will do the rest." "Protect," said Twilight. Immediately the bracelet glowed and a transparent dome appeared surrounding her, amazing the Maras who were watching. "Wow, that's so cool," said Pinkie Pie, bouncing excitedly. Naruto gave the other Maras more of the bracelets and went back to the closet to bring another box. "I've got something made for you girls, specially made," said Naruto. He gave Rarity a black hairpin with flowers and a violet crystal. For Fluttershy is a hair clip in the shape of a pink butterfly and a yellow crystal. For Pinkie is a string of beads with a pink crystal. For Applejack and Twilight is a medallion with an orange and red crystal respectively. These crystals have the ability to store any amount of items no matter the size. All you have to do is be near the item and call out "store," and when you want to bring out an item then call out "release," then the name of the item. Then he gave Rainbow Dash a pair of goggles which is similar to his own, but the crystals have been formed into transparent lenses. These goggles grants you the ability to see in the dark and locate magic signatures. "Thanks a lot Naruto, this will really help with my flying," said Rainbow Dash. "Thank you Naru, now I can pack more of my party stuff," said Pinkie, hugging the blonde stallion. "She's right, I can always keep my books nearby when I need them," said Twilight. "Thank you for the gift Naruto," said Fluttershy while trying to hide her blushing face. Thank you dear, this hairpin makes me look more appealing, said Rarity happily. I'm really happy to receive this from you, so thanks Naruto, said Applejack. You're all welcome, and before I forget I have one more surprise and it's for you Scootaloo, said Naruto, to which the said filly looked at him in surprise. Read this. Naruto gave a piece of paper to her to read. After reading through it, Scootaloo started to cry and tackled him to the ground. What was it you read Scootaloo? Asked Rainbow Dash, to which she replied happily, it is the adoption papers from the orphanage, meaning that Naruto is now my big brother. Upon hearing that, the Maras were shocked for a moment, and then they were happy that Scootaloo finally has a family. After hanging around the mansion and testing out the crystals, the Maras left, leaving Naruto and Scootaloo as he had packed her belongings secretly to surprise his new sister. Big bro? Asked Scootaloo while fidgeting. What is it lil sis? Said Naruto curiously. Can I sleep together with you tonight? Of course, I was just about to ask you the same thing, said Naruto happily. Soon they went to his room and slept. Now I have a new home, a new family and a new life. I'm looking to what adventures I will have in the future. It is a appealing morning at the Uzumaki mansion in Ponyville when Naruto woke up from the rays of the sun, although slightly annoyed at waking up from a nice dream. Why did I have to wake up at the moment I leapt off the springboard and was about to splash into a giant bowl of ramen? Sometimes I hate you son, thought Naruto, pouting at the sun. Anyway, I'd better go wake up Scootaloo for breakfast or she will be late for school. He trotted upstairs and quietly opened the door to his sister's bedroom, to her still asleep. He went over and nudged her awake. Scoots, wake up, you have to get ready for school and you don't want to be late. Scootaloo woke up and rubbed her eyes before turning to her brother with a smile. Sure thing bro, I'll take a bath before coming downstairs to have breakfast. Naruto smiled back and went downstairs to the kitchen and began to prepare breakfast, which was a plate of sandwiches, orange juice, apples and salad. Then he went ahead to prepare a lunchbox for Scootaloo to eat at school and one for himself, as he plans to have lunch at the park after his daily run in the town. After preparing breakfast, Naruto willed his chakra arms and used them to carry the platter to the summer hut and waited for Scootaloo, who showed up wearing a pair of goggles on her forehead and a medallion around her neck. Naruto had made some more of the items and gave them to the fillies, excluding the goggles, which was for his sister. Since she began to live with her brother, she was very happy as he would care for her and play with her and others, especially when they formed the Cutie Mark Crusaders, as they searched for their talents in activities, and he is around to guide them as well as keep them out of trouble, although he is not above playing pranks every once in a while. After a hearty breakfast, Naruto packed their lunchboxes into his satchel and went to the entrance of the mansion, where he turned to Scootaloo with a grin. Wheels or wings? Asked Naruto. Wings, besides I've already stored my scooter in my medallion. I plan to hang out with Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle at her place after school, said the young filly, who jumped onto Naruto's back. Alright then, just hold on tight, Chikura no Tsubasa, said Naruto as wings made of energy appeared. Then he leapt into the air and flew. It was a fun flight to school for Scootaloo, as Naruto was performing tricks along the way before finally landing at their destination, much to her disappointment. Alright, have a good day at school and I'll pick you up at AJ's place later in the day. After give her the lunchbox which she sealed into her medallion, Naruto trotted off to the sugar cube corner in order to buy some snacks to add to his lunch. Can't have a picnic without muffins, otherwise it's a crime. Meanwhile, a certain mare felt happy all of a sudden. It felt like someone is appreciating the taste of muffins. I hope to meet the pony soon, she thought happily as she waited for her daughter to come downstairs. She is a Pegasus with a coat of bluish-gray with mane and tail of pale light grayish-green. She has cutie mark of 2 large bubbles and 5 smaller ones surrounding them on her flank. What is most noticeable is her grayish-yellow eyes, which are crossed. Dinky do, aren't you done yet? Coming mom, a voice called out as a young filly came down the stairs. She is a unicorn with a coat of pale purple, a blonde mane and tail and yellow eyes. I'm ready, she happily approached her mother. It's my day off from male DLVRY, so how about we go for a walk around before we go and get some muffins from the sugar cube corner, said the mare. With that they left their home, not knowing of the special encounter that they would have with a certain blonde stallion. Naruto was galloping excitedly to the sugar cube corner while greeting every pony along the way until he finally reached his location. When he entered the shop, he tackled to the ground by a pink blur, but he smiled happily knowing who it was behind the tackle. "Hiya Naru, it's been a while since I last saw you here," said Pinkie Pie bouncing happily. "Geez Pinks, we only met yesterday so hasn't exactly been a while, anyway I wanted to buy some muffins for lunch," said Naruto as they walked to the counter. "Coming right up Naru. You know I'm sure if you met my friend you would get as she also likes muffins," said Pinkie as she packs the muffins into a paper bag. "Really? Who is this friend of yours as I would like to meet her," said Naruto who received the bag and placed some bits on the counter. "Her name is Derpy Hooves, she is a Pegasus who works as a DLVRY mare and often hangs out with Rainbow Dash and she absolutely loves muffins," said Pinkie Pie. "Alright then one of these days, I will follow you to meet this friend of yours, see ya later Pinks," said Naruto as he waved goodbye to the pink mare before leaving the shop and going on his merry way. Along the way, he heard some pony calling his name and turned to see Rainbow Dash flying towards him. "Yo Naruto, how's it going with you and Scootaloo?" said Rainbow Dash as she landed next to the blonde stallion. "Hey Dash, everything is fine with Scoots and I'm busy keeping her and the others out of trouble as they search for their cutie marks but it's never a dull moment with them. Anyway, Pinks told me that you are friends with a pony by the name Derpy," said Naruto with a smile as he walked along with the tomboyish mare. "Oh I know her I sometimes help out with her DLVRY, she is a bit clumsy and tends to crash into ponies whenever she flies," said Rainbow Dash while laughing. "You can't laugh at her as you also tend to crash into ponies too with me being your favorite landing cushion," said Naruto with smirk to which Rainbow blushed with embarrassment. "Well at least my crashes are lower in number than hers, anyway I'll catch you later for our daily challenges," said Rainbow Dash waving goodbye before flying to the clouds to perform her duties. "Well I'd better take a walk around before heading to the park to relax and then pick up Scootaloo at AJ's place," said Naruto before trotting away to the neighborhood. As he was walking through the street when he felt something close to him, it was a feeling of distress. Ever since the battle with Nightmare Moon, Naruto noticed that he had the ability to sense the emotions of ponies around such as anger, sadness, joy, and others but he learning how to use it by meditating but sometimes the ability triggers without warning. Feeling curious, Naruto went in the direction of the source of the emotion to see if he could help the pony out. After tracing the source, Naruto came upon who was emitting the emotion which was a young filly who was sitting on the ground crying to which he called out. "Hello young one, why are you crying?" 10 minutes earlier. Dinky was walking with her mother all the while talking about school and other things when she met with one of her mother's friends. "Hello Rainbow Dash, how are things going for you?" said the gray mare. "Hey Derpy, is today your day off?" said Rainbow Dash as she landed on the ground. "Yeah so I thought that I should spend the day with Dinky and we are just on our way to the Sugar Cube corner to buy some muffins," said the newly named Derpy. "Okay then, oh I almost forgot to introduce to a friend of mine, he is a unicorn who goes by the name Naruto and I'm sure you'll like as he also likes to eat muffins just like you," said Rainbow Dash. "Really? I hope to meet this pony soon as I've heard of a stallion from the post office that he comes around to help out with the deliveries, most of the workers say that he is one of the fastest ponies in Ponyville," said Derpy. "Well he has to be the fastest since he is my friend and rival, he even been helping me out with my tricks as well as teaching me some new ones. I sure that when the Wonderbolts show up they might have the both of us join them," said Rainbow with a smile proud of the blonde stallion. "But I thought he is unicorn so how can he join the Wonderbolts?" asked Derpy who was confused. "Let's just say that he is a special pony," said Rainbow Dash. "Okay then I have to get going so I'll see you later, come on Dinky let's dash," said Derpy turning to her daughter only to see that she is gone. "Where did she go?" "She was right next to me," she began calling out for her only to receive no reply. "Let's search from the sky, she can't have gone too far," said Rainbow Dash. The two Pegasus took to the air to begin their search. What they didn't know was that when they were talking, Dinky was distracted by a butterfly and chased after it in order to catch it. She kept following it through the town until she lost sight of it, much to her disappointment. "Oh well, I guess I'd better get back to Mom." She tried to go back the way she but kept taking the wrong way, which resulted in getting more lost. She tried to look for a familiar face but to no avail, adding more to her distress. Adding hunger to her problems made her break down and cry. Dinky kept crying until she felt a shadow over and heard a gentle voice call out to her. "Hello young one, why are you crying?" said the voice. She looked up to see a male unicorn with an orange coat and spiky blonde mane and a foxy tail, and she also noticed the whisker marks on his face, which piqued her curiosity if they are real. She didn't know this stallion but felt that she could trust him. Back to present time. The filly looked up to Naruto without talking, making him feel shy, so decided to draw her attention to why she was crying. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I moved to Ponyville a couple of weeks ago. What's your name, little one?" said Naruto, giving the filly a foxy grin which calmed her down and made her smile as well. "My name is Dinky Doo and it's nice to meet you, Mr. Naruto," said Dinky Doo. "I have heard of that name from Mom's friend. This could be him. He looks nice and those whisker marks remind me of a fox." "Please call me Naruto, being called Mr. makes me feel old and distant," said Naruto with a smile. "Okay, well, the reason I was crying is because I got lost from my mom. My mom and I were out for a walk since it's my mom's day off when we met a friend of hers. They were talking and I chased after a butterfly and ended up getting lost." A growl came from her stomach, causing her to blush. "And I'm hungry too," Naruto chuckled softly before coming to eye level with the filly. "Well, I can help you on both cases. I can help you find your and I can get some food into that stomach of yours," said Naruto with a gentle smile. "Really? Thank you, Naruto," said Dinky happily. "I can tell that you look tired, so how about you climb onto my back and then we head to the park, as I've packed lunch and it should be enough for the both of us," said Naruto as he crouched down for Dinky as she climbed up to his back. "Wow, his back is firm and warm, it makes me feel protected," thought Dinky as she made herself comfortable. With that, the duo went towards the park have a picnic. Meanwhile, Derpy and Rainbow Dash were still flying over the town looking for the missing filly, but to no avail, and Derpy is getting more worried. "We've been all over the place and still no sign of Dinky. Maybe we should get help from Naruto," said Rainbow Dash. "Why is that?" asked Derpy. "He recently told me that he could sense the emotions of the ponies around him, so if we can get him to sense the emotions of Dinky, then we should be able to find her," said Rainbow Dash. "Then where can we find him?" asked Derpy, already desperate. "Look for the pony who could help find her daughter." "Well, he should be at the park as it's where he likes to meditate, so let's head over there," said Rainbow Dash. Then the two Mares flew over to the park. Back with the blonde stallion, he was currently enjoying his picnic with Dinky, who was happily eating a sandwich that he made. "Wow, Naruto, all of your food tastes delicious. I'm sure that Mom would like to eat your cooking," said Dinky after she had finished eating. "Thank you, Dinky. How about some music before we go and look for your mom?" said Naruto, bringing out his ocarina. After receiving a nod from the young filly, he began to play with his chakra arms. Okami Ost, Shinshu Fields. As Naruto played his ocarina, the song was heard throughout the town, giving everyone the feeling of calmness and serenity, which even calmed Derpy as she approached the park. He was the one who played that song that day, thought Dinky as she closed her eyes and listened to the sound the music. After a bit of playing the music, Naruto stopped playing, much to her disappointment, as she wanted to listen to and told just that. He, I would like to continue to play, but don't forget that we need to find your mother first," said Naruto, to which Dinky consented. They were about to start packing the food when two Pegasus landed before them, to which they were familiar with. "Mom!" shouted Dinky as she ran to embrace the gray Pegasus, which Naruto assumed is her mother. "Dinky, I was so worried about you," said Derpy. Then she turned to the blonde stallion. "My name is Derpy Hooves and thank you for finding my daughter." "My name is Naruto Uzumaki and you're welcome. I'm sure any pony would have done the same thing in my place. I believe Dash led you here so that I could help you search her, right?" said Naruto with a foxy grin which led to both Mares to blush. "Of course, you are the pony for the job, which was why I brought her to you. I'll see you guys tomorrow," said Rainbow Dash, who took off for her home. Since that's case, let me pack up then I'll escort you to your home, said Naruto. I appreciate the gesture, said Derpy. Then the three ponies walked home with Dinky riding on his saying that she finds it comfy. After seeing them home, Naruto turned to leave when Derpy called out to him. I would like to thank you again for what you did and I hope to see you again. Of course, I'll invite you and Dinky to my place for lunch, she wants you to try my cooking. Anyway, I'll see you around, said Naruto waving goodbye before trotting to Applejack's home to pick up Scootaloo. Later that night as Derpy tucked Dinky to bed, she listened to how her daughter spent her day with the blonde stallion. It seems like you really like him. Yeah, he's very nice and likes to joke a lot and he was the one who played the song that day. I hope to see him again with you and Sparkler. He also gives me the feeling of having a father which makes me want to spend more time around him, said Dinky. That would be nice for all of us. Good night and I'll see you in the morning, said Derpy kissing her daughter before leaving the bedroom to her own. As she lay down to sleep, her thoughts strayed to the blonde stallion and thought, he's an interesting pony, I hope to meet him again as well, then she went to sleep. Meanwhile at the Uzumaki mansion, as Naruto was about to sleep his thoughts also strayed to the gray mare and the filly and thought, I hope to meet them again as it's fun to be with Dinky and I want to get to know Derpy a bit more, then he went to sleep as well. On a fine day in Ponyville, Naruto was running to Scootaloo's school with her riding on his back and enjoying the wind blowing in her face. Both of them had overslept and were running late so they had to skip breakfast but Naruto had packed an extra-large lunchbox to make up for it. So big bro, what are you planning to do today? Asked Scootaloo with curiosity. Naruto would often go around town to help any pony who would need his assistance whether it is LBR, farming, babysitting, cooking and anything else. He often jokes that they are similar to the D-rank missions he would carry out back at his dimension. Well today I have to do some deliveries for the Sugar Cube Corner, the Carousel Boutique and the post office and after that, I will be done for the day, said Naruto. Soon they had reached the school where Naruto dropped her off. I might not be able to come and pick you up after school so I'll see you at home, so have fun and try not to get into trouble. Okay big bro, I'll see you at home, said Scootaloo happily before running towards her classroom. Naruto smiled happily before galloping towards the Sugar Cube Corner at a calm pace. Upon entering the sweet shop, Naruto quickly crouched to allow a pink blur to fly overhead before using his tail to catch it which revealed to be Pinkie Pie. Nice try Pinks, better luck next time said Naruto with a foxy grin. Pinkie giggled as she was being tickled by his tail. Boo, I thought I could surprise you this time Naru, said Pinkie Pie pretending to pout although Naruto could see a smile appear on her face immediately after. Most at times Naruto would avoid her surprises and tickle her with his tail as a penalty much to the amusement of the others. Anyway, Mrs. Cakes and I have some birthday cakes and muffins for you to deliver so come around to the back. Then she proceeded to drag the blonde stallion to the kitchen. Why do I always get dragged around, thought Naruto as he was being carried. When they reached the kitchen, Naruto saw boxes with the Sugar Cube logo on them and guessed that they are the pastries meant to be delivered. Whoa, they are a lot. It's a good thing that I brought along my storage crystal for this, looking at the medallion hung around his neck. Here are the pastries and these are the address to where you are to deliver them, said Pinkie Pie passing a slip of paper which contains the information to Naruto. Okay then, said Naruto, then he approached the boxes, store. The medallion glowed brightly and the boxes transformed into orbs of light before disappearing into the medallion. Okay Pinks, I'll be back sooner that you can say muffins. With that Naruto took off at high speed towards the locations around town. Soon afterwards he had completed the deliveries before heading back the Sugar Cube Corner. Pinks, I'm done with the deliveries and they were happy with the pastries and said that they would order again. Thanks for helping us Naru, said Pinkie Pie happily as she hugged the blonde stallion, making him blush in embarrassment. Have some muffins as a reward before you leave. Oh, and tell Rarity I said hi, handing a bag of the snacks to Naruto who stored it into the medallion. Thanks for the muffins Pinks, I have to get going as Rarity needs me to deliver some clothes for her so I'll see you later, said Naruto waving at the pink mare before leaving the shop in direction of the boutique. Along the way he passed by Applejack's stall and decided to stop to buy some apples as well as say hello to the cow mare. Hiya AJ. How has the stall been running? Howdy Naruto, things have been running smoothly and I haven't seen you in a while, said Applejack, who was happy to see the blonde stallion. Sorry about that, I've doing some jobs for the ponies in town so I've been busy. Anyway, how are you coming along with the katas of the ponyado? Said Naruto, who was feeling a bit guilty at not coming around the sweet apple acres to see the apples. Oh, I've almost mastered the forms as I've been practicing every day after doing my chores, said Applejack. Okay then, we'll meet at the training later on so that I can see how you have come along. Anyway, I'd like to buy some apples and get going cause I need to do some deliveries for Rarity, said Naruto. Sure thing, here you go and tell Rarity I said hello, said Applejack as she gave Naruto a bag of apples which was stored in his medallion and received some bits in return. After departing from the stall, Naruto had reached the carousel boutique and entered to see Rarity, who was currently using her magic to stitch some fabrics together on the mannequin while looking at the sketch which she had drawn. Hello Rare, I'm here to help out with delivering the clothes for you and Pinkie Pie and AJ says hi, said Naruto approaching the mare, who stopped using her magic and turned around to smile happily at the blonde stallion. Hello dear, I was just expecting you. A couple from Canterlot had ordered for a tuxedo and a ball gown for a ball. Their servant will soon arrive at the edge of town, said Rarity. I've been meaning to ask, but what kind of place is Canterlot? I've been hearing the name for a while now and it has caught my attention, said Naruto. I keep forgetting that you came from another dimension. Canterlot is the capital of Equestria as well as where Princess Celestia and Princess Luna live. Twilight used to live there too. It's one of the largest cities where nobles live and there are places like high-class restaurants, a racetrack and much more. I wish to visit that place one day, said Rarity with a dreamy look in her eyes. It sounds like a real happening place. Maybe I should visit as well as say hello to the princesses. Anyway, where are the clothes? Said Naruto, who had become interested in checking out the city on of these days. Oh sorry, I was getting sidetracked. They are in a box on the table, said Rarity using her magic to levitate the box from the table to Naruto, who sealed it away. Okay, I'll be back, said Naruto before heading to the outskirts of town where he saw a pony wearing a butler's outfit and approached him. Excuse me, I believe you are the one who was supposed to take the order. Yes, that's right, I was sent by the MSTR and MSTRS to collect the clothes, said the pony. Okay then, release box, said Naruto. Then an orb came out of the medallion and transformed into the box and he gave it to the pony, who was surprised to see what had just transpired. That is quite an artifact. Where did you get it? The pony asked with curiosity. Actually, I made it, said Naruto. Incredible. I'm sure that the nobles would wish to acquire such tools if you were to bring them to Canterlot, said the pony. I will consider it when I come to Canterlot. Anyway, thanks for ordering from the carousel boutique and I hope to see you again, said Naruto after taking the bits and waving goodbye to the pony before heading back to the boutique. Rarity, I've delivered the package so I guess I'll see you later then. Tell Sweetie Belle I said hi. Okay dear, I hope to see you again soon, said Rarity. After leaving the shop, Naruto headed to the post office and had arrived just to see Derpy, who was about to leave on her DLVRY. Hello Derpy, it's good to see you again and how is Dinky, said Naruto waving hello to the Pegasus. Hello Naruto, it's nice to see you too. Dinky has been wanting to see you again, saying that she had fun the last time she was with you, said Derpy smiling at the blonde stallion. Then be sure to tell her that I'll come over and play with her when I'm less busy as I have a little gift for her, said Naruto with a foxy grin which caused Derpy to blush. Wow, his smile makes me feel happy and gives me a warm feeling inside, thought Derpy. I'll be sure to tell her and I wanted to introduce you to the rest of my family. Okay, I hope to see you later then, said Naruto waving at the gray Pegasus, who flew off before entering the office to meet the pony in charge. Hello Chief, I'm here for the deliveries. The pony, whom he called Chief, turned around and smiled at the sight of the blonde. Ah, it's you kiddo, it's great to see you around here. We really appreciate your helping us with the delivering of the letters and packages as we keep on getting swamped with paperwork, said the Chief. I'm going to call him that as I don't know his name. I'm up for suggestions. It's no trouble I'm just happy to help out, said Naruto with a smile. I wondered if Bachan would ever figure out to use shadow clones for her paperwork. Elsewhere in another dimension, a woman who was sitting with tons of paperwork in front of her sneezed, causing the papers to scatter. Damn it, it seems like someone was talking about me and knew the answer to defeating this paperwork but is out of my grasp. How I wish to get a hold of that person and demand him to tell me, she said before resuming to signing the paper. Back with our pony ninja, the chief was laughing. Geez kid, you are too modest. Anyway, we have put up a bulletin board for where ponies can put up request for help which any pony can take on, and I'm pretty sure that you would be interested. Thanks for telling me, chief, I'll be sure to check it out later. Is there anything that I need to deliver? Said Naruto. Actually, we have some instruments that need to be delivered to a music shop on this address. I'm sure that you can handle it. Aside from that, there is nothing else, said the chief. Okay, I'm on it, said Naruto. Then he went to the storeroom where he found the instruments, which were a cello, violin, and a sound mixer among other equipment. Whoa, well, I've been thinking of getting a new instrument myself, as I've been getting a few ideas for new songs. Then he sealed them away and headed for the address where he found a shop that had several instruments on display. He knocked on the door and heard a voice on the other side. Hold on for just a sec, said a feminine voice. The door opened to reveal Mare from behind the door. She is a unicorn with a yellowish-white coat and a mane and tail of cobalt blue with cyan stripes. She has a cutie mark of a music note which is mirrored on her flank. What Naruto noticed most was her sunglasses, which was gradient from purple to heliotrope. Hello, and who might you be? My name is Naruto Uzumaki and I am here to deliver the instruments, said Naruto. The Mare however looked skeptical. Are you sure? 'Cause I don't see any instruments around, said the Mare. That's because I placed them in this medallion around my neck. Show me where you want then and I'll show you, said Naruto. Then he followed the unicorn to a large room where there were large speakers among other sound systems. This is the place, so why don't you show me, said the Mare. Sure, release instruments, called out Naruto. Several orbs came out of the medallion and transformed into the said items, much to the surprise of the unicorn. Whoa, that's amazing, I've never seen magic like that. Where did you get it? Said the Mare. I made it by myself and it allows me to store large amounts of items for easy transporting, said Naruto with a smile. That's pretty cool. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Vinyl Scratch and I'm a DJ, but most ponies call me DJ Pon 3. That's a cool nickname and it's nice to meet you, said Naruto with a foxy grin. I'll go get my roommate to check the instruments. In the meantime you can take a look around, said Vinyl as she walked into the next room. Naruto walked around a bit, taking in the view of the room until he came across a clipboard which contained a score and observed it closely. That was when Vinyl came back. My friend isn't around at the moment, but I'm sure that she'll be back soon. Then she saw Naruto looking at the score. I see that has caught your interest. I've been trying to get some lyrics for the beat but can't seem to find the right one to fit with the guitar. Why don't let me give it a try? I'm a bit of a music lover, so maybe I can WHP something up, said Naruto as he picked up a guitar close to him. Okay then, let's play the song and see what you can do, said Vinyl. She placed the disc into the slot and hit the play button. Then the music started to play through the speakers. As Naruto listened, he began to get some ideas and started to sing. When the music had ended, Vinyl's jaw dropped at what she had just witnessed. That was incredible. How were you able to come up with those? She was very close to the stallion, which made him a bit uncomfortable. I don't know how, just that when the song started to play, the words just came up in my mind and I started to sing it. How was it? Said Naruto. It was great. Both the song and the lyrics were in perfect sync and blended very well with each other, said Vinyl happily. You and I definitely have to get together to make more songs, said Vinyl with excitement. Sure, I'm down with that, said Naruto with a foxy grin, causing the unicorn to blush behind her glasses. What other instruments can you play? Asked Vinyl. Well, I can play the ocarina, said Naruto, unsealing the said instrument. At that moment, the two ponies heard a voice from behind. What is going on here? I could hear the music all the way from outside the shop, said a feminine voice. Naruto turned to see a mare, and she is an earth pony with a coat of goldish gray and a mane of dark gray. She also wears a pink bow tie with a white collar and a purple treble clef for her cutie mark. Hey there Tavi, I've been looking for you, said Vinyl waving at the mare. Well, if you must know, I had gone to the post office to check for the instruments but I was told that it had already been delivered here, and who might be this gentle colt be, said the mare. Naruto approached the mare to greet her. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, it's nice to meet you, said Naruto with a smile. My name is Octavia and it is a pleasure to meet you, may I ask what is going on here, said Octavia. Naruto was helping me out with the song that I made and it was perfect then he was about to play a song from that ocarina of his, said Vinyl pointing at the instrument which was held by Naruto. Well I hope that you wouldn't mind if I listen to you play as well, asked Octavia. Of course I don't mind, said Naruto with smile, then he began to play the song from when he had the picnic with Fluttershy, in your belief from Azura's Wrath OST, which surprised the mare. So he was the one playing the song that day. Octavia thought as she looked at Naruto as he continued playing, like that day they felt the peace and serenity which was radiating from the blonde stallion until he finished playing, that was quite impressive Mr. Naruto, I would like to exchange some ideas with you. Please call me Naruto, I'm not one for formalities as it makes me feel kind of distant when I'm talking to some pony, said Naruto with a smile to which Octavia smiled as well. What about me Naruto? Asked Vinyl who was getting a bit jealous at seeing her roommate take interest in the stallion. I would also exchange ideas with you as I like all kinds of music, said Naruto smiling at the unicorn so as to reassure her which worked as she had calmed down. I have to get going as it's getting late. Okay then, be sure to visit again as we had enjoyed your company, said Octavia seeing the stallion off. Yeah, and if there is a party, I gonna invite you and together, we'll rock the house, said Vinyl raising her shades to reveal magenta-colored eyes to wink at him which led to him blushing. She really has pretty eyes, thought Naruto, sure thing. By then, with that he walked away in direction of his home although along the way he remembered that he had forgotten to get a new instrument for himself. Oh well, I guess that adds more of a reason for me to come back. With that thought in mind, Naruto galloped home. It was another day in Ponyville and the main six along with Sweetie Belle, Apple Bloom and Spike decided to hang out with Naruto and Scootaloo at the Uzumaki mansion as they had the day off to enjoy. Naruto was very happy to have them over as he had nothing going on for himself. The CMC members were having a club meeting at the tree house for their next activity to find their cutie marks. Pinkie Pie was at the kitchen following a recipe which Naruto had written down from his home dimension. Twilight was at the library reading the scrolls that Naruto had written about chakra as well as the history of the Hidden Leaf Village and other legends thanks to the help of his shadow clones. Meanwhile Rainbow Dash along with Fluttershy, Rarity, and Spike were watching Applejack have a spar with Naruto in the underground training room. Come AJ. You've got to strike more quickly and accurately in order to catch your opponent off guard, said Naruto as he ducked under a double kick from Applejack. She had been improving in the art of poniado as she was able to connect a few hits unlike before. Applejack nodded in affirmation as she took in a deep breath before dashing at Naruto with a thought-out plan. She started launching punches at Naruto to which he weaved in and out of the attacks, then she launched a sweep with her tail to the blonde stallion's surprise as he raised his four hooves to avoid it but was unaware that he had fallen into a trap and was unable to avoid the punch when she quickly spun and executed, sending him skidding back with an aching jaw. Applejack was about to continue the assault when she saw Naruto raise a hoof to signify that the spar is over, then they faced each and bowed in a form of respect like he taught her. I have to say AJ, you're getting better at bringing up strategies in the midst of battle to be able to catch me off guard with that move. It won't be long until you become a MSTR of the art of poniado, smiling at the blushing mare. Thanks Naruto. But I still got a long way to go, said Applejack feeling happy at being praised by the blonde stallion, making the others a bit jealous. Naruto, you think you can also teach me those moves of yours too, said Rainbow Dash with Rarity nodding in agreement. Of course I can, I'm also coming up with several fighting styles which are suitable for Pegasus and unicorns which I call Tsubasa Atsu which teaches Pegasus how to fight in midair and Majikwatsu which teaches unicorns how to use their magic to fight from close range to mid-range in battle although alicorns can use both fighting styles. I'm still in the process of creating them but I'll let you know when I've finished formulating the techniques, said Naruto after walking to the library and carrying out 2 scrolls with his chakra arms to show them several illustrations of the fighting styles. Applejack, Fluttershy, and Spike came over to look as well. Wow, these moves look so cool. I can't wait to try them out, said Rainbow Dash after looking at the illustrations of the Tsubasa Atsu scroll. I would have to agree with Rainbow Dash, they certainly look appealing, quite suitable for a pony like me, said Rarity looking at the drawings of the Majikwatsu. They were still looking at the scrolls when Twilight came out of the library carrying a pile of notes with her magic. Thanks for letting me read through your scrolls, Naruto. I've learned quite a lot about your old world and chakra as well, said the mare looking at the notes with joy. Then she saw them looking at some scrolls and got curious. What are you all reading? These scrolls contain instructions for fighting styles meant for Pegasus and unicorns, but Naruto is still in the middle of creating new moves. I'm sure you would also like to learn, said Applejack, which made Twilight have a look of excitement. Would you like to learn Tsubasa Atsu too, Shy? Asked Naruto, but the shy mare shook her head in negative. I would like to be, but I don't like to hurt any pony, said Fluttershy sadly to Naruto and nodded in understanding because of her kind-hearted nature. Then Pinkie Pie came in with a happy look on her face. Heya Pinks, by the looks of things, it seems you were able to cook one of the recipes that I copied down on the cookbook, said Naruto with a smile. Yep, and I'm sure you'll all love it. I've set up at the summer hut, so let's get Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo to join us, said Pinkie bouncing excitedly. Later on, every pony had gathered at the summer hut and it was revealed that Pinkie was able to cook a rice and cabbage hot pot, without ground beef, and Naruto brought a jug of juice which was of mixed fruits, think of your own style of flavors, and they began to eat, to which they found very delicious to eat. Rarity called it a high-class recipe, although she was surprised when Naruto told her that everyone can cook it. After cleaning the dishes, they sat at the balcony to enjoy the view when Applejack decided to ask him a question. Say, Naruto, I know that you always go around helping every pony in town, but I was wondering when you would actually get a job, said Applejack. Naruto thought deeply before responding to the cowmare. Now that you mention it, I was planning to make a shop to sell the crystals that I made and a dojo to teach ponies the art of ponyado, Tsubasa Atsu and Majikwatsu as a form of self-defense. If anything, the incident with Nightmare Moon has taught us that anything can happen and we need a way to avoid such danger, said Naruto. That's actually a good idea. I'm sure that it can help many ponies in Ponyville, but do you have anything else planned aside from that? Asked Twilight. Naruto was about to reply when Spike suddenly belched up a flicker of green flames which faded to reveal a rolled-up parchment sealed with a red ribbon which floated over to Naruto. It's a letter from Princess Celestia. But I wonder why she wrote a letter to you, Naruto. Who knows? Let's see what it is about, said Naruto as he used his chakra arms to carefully open the letter and began to read out loud for every pony to hear. Dear Naruto Uzumaki. How are things going for you at Ponyville? I read from Twilight's letter that you had built a home for yourself and had adopted a young Pegasus filly by the name Scootaloo, to which I extend congrats to you. It has been quite a while since we spoke, and that was when you told us of your past, and once again I wish to say thank you along with your friends for saving my sister. The reason I am writing this letter is that I hope you would pay us a visit to Canterlot, as we hoping to have a conversation with you. We would have come to Ponyville, but Luna is still learning to adapt to the current lifestyle since she had been sealed for a long time. If you decide to come to Canterlot, the seal on the letter will allow you to enter the royal palace. My sister and I hope to see you soon. Princess Celestia. Sure enough, when Naruto at the bottom of the letter, he saw the royal crest, much to the surprise of every pony, even Twilight, as she had never thought that Princess Celestia would want to invite Naruto to the palace, but summed it up because he was an element bearer and he was from another dimension. I was about to tell you guys that I wasn't having anything planned, but it looks like I do now. I've always wondered what kind of city Canterlot is, but now I have the chance to check the place out, said Naruto, who had a look of excitement. Well, when you come back from Canterlot, be sure to bring back souvenirs for us, Naruto, said Rarity. I've also heard that the Wonderbolts have their main headquarters there too. You're so lucky to go there, said Rainbow Dash. I'm sure they have lots of parties there too, said Pinkie Pie bouncing excitedly. Well, how do I get to Canterlot? Asked Naruto, looking a bit lost at the moment. It was Twilight who answered the question. Spike and I came here using the royal chariot, but you can get to Canterlot by taking the train, said Twilight. Thanks for telling me, Twilight, said Naruto, giving Twilight a smile. Then he turned to Applejack. AJ, I was hoping that you would let Scootaloo stay over at your place while I'm gone, as I would be worried about leaving her at home alone. Sure thing, Naruto, it's no problem at all, said Applejack, smiling at the blonde stallion. Thanks, AJ, now all I have to do is tell every pony that I'll be gone for a bit and then pack my things tonight, as I'll set out tomorrow, said Naruto, to which every pony nodded in agreement. Later on, Naruto went around town telling every pony that he'll be gone for a while. Octavia and Vinyl Scratch wished him a safe journey. Derpy wished him the same as well, with Dinky having him promise to come back soon so that she can play with him again. Then that night, he packed his hoodie jacket, red coat, and several of the crystals as gifts. Next day, Naruto was getting seen off by the main six and Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, Scootaloo and Ao the Blue Jay. I had completely forgotten about her, so I'll be seeing you guys later. Take care of yourself, Naruto, said Fluttershy, blushing from Naruto smiling at her. Be sure to tell us great stories from your time in Canterlot. Okay, big bro, said Scootaloo, with the other fillies nodding in agreement. Be sure to exhibit good manners over there or I will be most displeased with you, said Rarity, making Naruto rub the back of his head sheepishly. Don't forget to bring some gifts on your way back, said Rainbow Dash. Please send my regards to Princess Celestia and Princess Luna, said Twilight Sparkle. And don't you worry about Scootaloo, my family and I will be sure to take care of her, said Applejack. Thanks every pony, said Naruto, smiling at them. Then the train whistle blew, signaling that it was about to leave. There's the signal, so I have to get on the train. Goodbye, and try not to miss me too much, okay? Then he entered the train. As the door closed and began to move, Naruto stuck his head out of one of the windows and waved goodbye at the Mares and fillies as they waved back until they lost sight of each other. Naruto went to sit on one of the seats and looked outside the windows to view the scenes that were passing by and thought, I can't wait to see what kind of place Canterlot is. After a bit of watching the scenery, Naruto got bored and took to researching on a special Fuinjutsu project which would serve him greatly, especially in combat in the near future. Take a guess, along with other side projects which were almost complete. Then he took a nap which lasted for a few hours until he was woken up by the attendant who announced the train's arrival to Canterlot. He took a look outside the window to see the city, which was bigger than he thought. When the train finally reached the station and he stepped out of the station, Naruto took a true look at the city and was in awe at the beauty of the place and saw many ponies of different types which looked to be of nobility. As much as I want to stroll through the boulevard and check out the place, my first stop would be at the royal palace to meet with Celestia and Luna to let them know that I've arrived, thought Naruto as he looked around until his sight set on the castle built by the mountainside. Well, that makes it much easier to locate. And he began to move along the street, all the while drawing the attention of the Mares and stallions to himself, which him feel a bit uncomfortable but proud as he heard a few Mares whisper that he looks good in his hoodie jacket. Rare would be proud if I told her that the clothes we made together has drawn the attention of many ponies in Canterlot. Soon Naruto had arrived at the palace gates where two Pegasus in armor stood at opposite sides. One of them stepped forward. Halt! State your business, said one of the Pegasus in a deep voice. I've been invited by Princess Celestia and Princess Luna for an audience, said Naruto, bringing out the letter from the pocket of his jacket and presented it before them. Upon see the royal crest, the armored Pegasus nodded to the other and ordered for the gates to be open. Naruto thanked them and he continued inside. Then he met one of the servants and was guided to the lobby and was told wait. He was called upon to enter the throne room where he saw Celestia sitting on a white throne while on the right Luna was sitting on a dark throne. Both Mares looked happy to see the blonde, especially Luna. Your Highnesses, I would like to announce the arrival of Naruto Uzumaki from Ponyville, said the servant. Celestia gestured for the pony to leave, to which he did. Once the pony left, Naruto smiled brightly at the two Mares. It's great to see you again, said Naruto as he got closer to them. Indeed it is, Naruto. The last time we met was when you showed us your memories, said Celestia. Then she had a mischievous look. Although I wonder why you became so informal with us now. Well, that's because I don't like being formal with those I like, and I can tell you do the same thing. Celestia chuckled softly. You're right about that. So how are things at Ponyville? asked Celestia. Things are going fine there. I'm planning to open up a shop to sell special accessories and a dojo to teach ponies different styles, said Naruto, to which the Mares became curious. What do you mean by fighting styles? Asked Luna, with Celestia wondering the same thing. When I first came into this world, I created a fighting style based on the principles of a good friend which I named Ponyado, that is suitable for earth ponies. Then I created 2 more styles, Tsubasa Atsu, which involves aerial combat for Pegasus, and Majikwatsu, which is about magic combat for unicorns, and I believe that alicorns are capable of using all 3 of the styles, said Naruto, to which Celestia and Luna had a look of understanding. That makes a lot of sense, and it would help a lot of ponies to defend themselves. But what is it that you are going to sell at the shop when you open it? Asked Celestia. Well, in the cave which I woke up from, there are some crystals with special properties that are capable recharging by absorbing magic after being used. When I apply Fuinjutsu to them, they are able to perform many functions, like this medallion is able to store many items, said Naruto, pointing at the medallion around his neck above his goggles. Let me show you. Release box. The medallion glowed and an orb of light came out and landed on the ground before transforming into an orange box. The Mares were amazed at the demonstration. That was amazing. I've never seen anything like it before, said Luna in an excited voice, which Naruto blushed and rubbed the back of his head, to which they found cute. He then opened the box to reveal several more items which have crystals embedded in them. The crystals can do more than just store things. So far I've that they can produce light to illuminate dark areas, produce protective barriers, or serve as a source of heat, and I'm still discovering more about them, said Naruto. I am sure that many ponies would love have these crystals, as it would make things easier for them. Well, you're here, why don't you take a stroll through the castle? Then later tonight, we would continue our conversation, said Celestia, as she took a sidelong glance at Luna, who was looking happy at being able to spend more time with the blonde stallion. Sure thing, then maybe tomorrow I'll check out the city and buy a few souvenirs for Applejack and the others. Anyways, see you later, said Naruto before walking off to explore the castle. So you have a strong interest in Naruto, huh? Said Celestia, teasing Luna, who began to blush. Well, that's because he saved me and he's kind, strong, and handsome, said Luna, rubbing her front hooves together. Oh, and he's handsome too, huh? Celestia continued her teasing, further confusing her sister. Well, you should talk. When you were talking to him I can tell that you were thinking that he was cute and you can't hide it from me, said Luna. Now it was Celestia's turn to blush. How about we focus on something else, said Celestia. Meanwhile Naruto was walking through the castle until he entered an area where he saw a lot Pegasus and unicorns training. I guess this must be where they train new recruits, thought Naruto as he walked along. Many ponies saw him and waved as Celestia and Luna told them of his battle with Nightmare Moon and being the bearer of the new element of harmony. Naruto kept walking until he saw a certain unicorn fight against multiple opponents. He has a coat of cyan with deeper shade of blue for his mane and tail, and his cutie mark is of a shooting star. He saw the unicorn knock all of his opponents with his magic, which caught his interest and decided to approach him. Hello there, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, may I know yours? My name is Luce Astro, a recruit for the royal court. I've heard about you. You are the pony who fought against to a standstill, said the unicorn, looking at Naruto with interest. That may be true, but it was I along with the other element bearers who worked together to defeat Nightmare Moon. Anyway, I saw your battle with the other recruits and I wanted to spar with you, said Naruto, surprising the ponies around, especially Luce. I would be happy to spar with you, said Luce, smiling happily at being able to battle against the stallion. They went to the battlefield and faced off. When the referee called the match, Luce started off by launching magic bolts at Naruto, began to dodge by sidesteps and short dashes, then retaliated. Fire lance. Several spears made of fire appeared, shot at the unicorn, who quickly leapt into the air and fired a beam. Naruto slammed a hoof to the ground and called out, Terra Bunker. The ground rumbled before forming a dome around Naruto and crumbled away after withstanding the attack. Many ponies that were watching were amazed at how the blonde stallion fought. They were unaware that Celestia and Luna were watching from a window at the throne room. This pony knows how to move around in battle. He just needs to get some experience, then he'll be one of the best guards yet, thought Naruto as he backflipped to dodge another energy when he tried to get in close. Try dodging this, said Luz as he jumped into the air, his horn glowed brightly, shooting stars meteor. He then fired a volley of projectiles shaped like shooting stars, as if the name doesn't say it all, which raced towards Naruto. Every pony wondered what he'll do, whether he'll summon the earth barrier or do something else entirely. Even the princesses watched with bated breath. Using Terra Bunker won't help this time, let's try out this combo I came up with back at the train, thought Naruto, then concentrated on his magic and called out his new magic technique, Lightning Firestorm. Immediately a pillar of burst around him, then the wind picked up, turning the pillar of into a whirlwind, and finally a bolt of lightning fell from the sky and coursed through the blazing whirlwind. The projectiles made contact with the lightning and burning whirlwind and were easily deflected, surprising every pony as they knew that no pony has ever emerged unscathed until now. After the attack had stopped, Naruto cancelled his technique and called out, Windflaw Dash. He sped forward with his body covered with the wind and slammed into the unicorn before he could react, sending him skidding along the floor. When the referee called the end, Naruto went to help the unicorn up from the ground. You did pretty well in the spar. But I lost to you, I was too weak, said Luz, feeling a bit down. There is something I should tell you, you win some and you lose some, but you will live to fight another day and at that time be much stronger than before. Besides, I can tell that you along with the other recruits will go a long way, said Naruto, smiling at the young unicorn. Then he started to leave but stopped and turned to talk to every pony. I should also tell you what my MSTR told me. Those who break the rules are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. I hope that you consider these words in the future. Then he left to explore the rest of the castle, leaving every pony to consider his words of advice. After a while it was night. It was time to meet Celestia and Luna, and he was led to the balcony where they were waiting. Good evening, Naruto, said Celestia with smile. Good evening to you too, I was hoping that we would have night flight together, said Naruto, much to their confusion. How can we do that? You can't fly without wings, said Luna. Naruto simply smiled at her. On the contrary, I can, Chikura no Tsubasa, said Naruto, and his wings appeared, surprising the Maras. That is quite interesting, said Celestia, to which Naruto grinned. Well, they don't call me the #1 unpredictable ninja for nothing, said Naruto. Come on, I know a good spot. Then he took to the air, the princesses following close behind. After a while they settled on a large cloud that he made with his magic. Then he turned to Luna. The reason I brought us out here from the castle was because I could sense worry from you, Luna, so I thought to bring you out here so that we could talk. Luna looked surprised for a minute before looking sad. Well, it has been many years since I was sealed away and so many things has changed and I don't know if I can get used to the change. I'm also worried if I were to change back into Nightmare Moon again and hurt every pony, said Luna, with Celestia looking at her sadly before hugging her. You don't have to worry about that, as you have your sister and me along with the others to stand with you. Also, if you ever change into Nightmare Moon, then we'll be there to help you no matter what, as I along with your sister and the others care deeply about you, said Naruto. Luna began to cry tears of joy before hugging the blonde stallion, with Celestia looking unhappily. Now that you are assured, how about I treat you to a few snacks? Release food pack. A medium-sized box appeared before which he opened to reveal a small 3-colored ball that are skewered, which are several inside, and a flask with a few cups inside. What are these? Asked Celestia, picking one up with her magic, and Luna doing the same. They are called dango. They're sweets made from rice flour and are quite tasty, and they also go great with green tea, which I have some here, so give it a try, I'm sure you'll love it, said Naruto as he poured some into the cups. It's Gyokuro, check Wikipedia. Luna gave it a try and was amazed at how great it tastes, with Celestia thinking the same after trying it with the tea. It tastes amazing. Is it from your world? Asked Luna, taking another skewer of dango. Yeah, another friend of mine was quite an addict and had me make some for her ever since she found out that I could cook so well, said Naruto, remembering a certain kunoichi who had an affinity for snakes unlike a certain psycho. Maybe when you come and visit Ponyville, I would treat you to some more of my world's recipes. We'll be looking forward to that, said Celestia. After eating the snacks, Naruto and Celestia returned to the castle while Luna set off to perform her duties. The next day, Naruto strolled through the city and bought a few gifts for the Maras back home and sparred with Luz again. He gave Luz a scroll to learn how to use Poniato, telling him that he would come back again to spar with him in the style. Soon it was time for him to return to Ponyville. "I have to get going, but before I forget, release necklaces," said Naruto. 2 necklaces appeared, one which is dark blue and the other which is golden. "These are necklaces which I customized myself. If you need my help, just channel magic into it and it will alert me." "Thank you for the gift, Naruto, and I hope to see you again," said Luna. Then she came up close to Naruto and kissed him on the cheek, making him blush bright red, which made her smile shyly. "I hadn't thanked you saving me." "Oh, okay, Igatagabi." Naruto said the next works quickly and took off, making the Maras chuckle in amusement. "He's really cute when he acts like that," said Celestia, with Luna having to agree. Meanwhile on the train, Naruto's face was still red from the embrace Luna gave to him. "Why can't I stop thinking about that embrace? I haven't felt this way before with Sakura-chan," thought Naruto. In the skies above, someone was watching the blonde stallion with a smile. "Naruto Uzumaki, you will be needed soon to help save other worlds from destruction," said the figure before disappearing in a white light. It has been several hours since the train that Naruto is on had left Canterlot and its way back to Ponyville. Naruto was bored out of his mind while he was seated window and looking at the scenery. "These are one of the reasons why I don't like trains," Naruto grumbled when he remembered the mission back at the Land of Snow, where he had to outrun the train whilst carrying Princess Koyuki. He shuddered at the memory. Finally the train arrived at the Ponyville train station. He got out of the station and let out a yawn and stretched his muscles to remove any cramps. "Now I have to find the girls and let them know that I'm back." Naruto then took off in search of his friends. Walking along the road and greeting the locals, Naruto saw Twilight and Spike ahead of him. He was about to call out to them, when 2 foals known to every pony as Snips and Snails came running by. "Gangway coming through." Spike got tackled by them. Naruto quickly used his tail to catch him before he got hurt and walked over to Twilight. "Hi Twilight." "Spike. How's it going?" Naruto smiled at the mare and Drake, who smiled in return. "Hello Naruto. How are Princess Celestia and Princess Luna?" asked Twilight. "They're fine and sends their regards," said Naruto. Then he turned to the foals. "Now why were you boys running all over the place and ended up tackling Spike?" "There is a new unicorn in town," said Snails. "Yeah. They say that she's got more magical powers than any other unicorn ever," said Snips excitedly. Naruto and Twilight exchanged looks of curiosity at the rumor. Spike spoke up while hanging from Naruto's tail. "Ah, no way, the honor goes to Twilight here." Naruto nodded in agreement. All the time spent with her, Naruto knew she had great talent for magic. "Where is this unicorn?" asked Twilight. "Oh, she's in the town square." "Come on," said Snails, pointing in the direction of the said location before running off with Snips following. "Yeah, come on," said Snips. Twilight and Naruto, with Spike riding on his back, followed the 2 foals to meet with the rumored pony. The group arrived at the town square where they saw a caravan with a stage set up and ponies had gathered around it. Naruto was able to see Applejack, Rarity, Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy among them. As they drew close, a unicorn appeared from behind the curtains of the stage. She has a coat of brilliant azure, a mane of pale blue with pale cerulean stripes and a cutie mark of a magic wand with a trail magic dust. She also wore a conical hat and a cape, both adorned with blue and yellow stars. She spoke in a loud voice to gain the attention of the crowd. "Come one, come all. Come and witness the amazing magic of the great and powerful Trixie," said the mayor. The crowd looked on with curiosity while the Applejack and the others seemed a bit skeptical. Watch in awe as the great and powerful Trixie performs the most spectacular feats of magic ever witnessed by pony eyes. There was an explosion of fireworks and a fanfare was being played. "Oh my, what boasting!" Rarity was unimpressed. She turned to the voice which spoke in agreement with her. "I'll have to agree with you, Rare. No pony likes a show-off." Naruto waved at the girls when they turned and smiled at his return. "Hey Naruto. It's good to see you're back. Rainbow Dash excitedly flew over to him. I am glad that you came back safely, Fluttershy spoke softly while trying to hide her blush. Howdy Naruto. Scootaloo is currently at school, so you can pick her up later, said Applejack. It's good to see you again, I hope you got the latest fashion news while you were there, said Rarity. Hiya Naru. Did anything exciting happen while you were there? Pinkie was hopping before him, making Naruto hold her in place with his tail. I had a great time in Canterlot. Naruto smiled before turning to look at the unicorn on stage, although I am not impressed with the way she present herself, Spike nodded in agreement. That's right. No Pony is better at magic than Tree Dash, Spike started, but stopped when he saw Twilight glaring at him, never mind. There is nothing wrong with being talented, is there? Twilight asked the others nervously, Naruto could sense the unease within her. Nothing at all, except when someone goes around showing it off like a school filly with new ribbons, Rarity agreed with Applejack, which only increased the uneasiness in Twilight. Indeed, just because one has the ability to perform lots of magic does not make one better than the rest of us, Naruto decided to speak up to ease Twilight's worries. What they say is true, but there are some talented ponies that don't show off their gifts, Naruto said this directly to Twilight, which cheered her up a bit. Yeah. Especially when you've got me around to be better than the rest of us, Rainbow Dash laughed out loud, but that stopped when she saw the Maras glaring at her and Naruto shaking his head, yeah, magic schmagic. Boo. Well, it seems we have some naysayers in the audience. Trixie had a look of arrogance on her face, who is so ignorant as to challenge the magical ability of the great and powerful Trixie. Do they not know that they are in the presence of the most magical in all of Equestria? Who does she think she is? Rarity stuck her tongue, Naruto snickered at how unladylike she was acting at the moment, which made her blush in embarrassment. Yeah. Since we all know that Twilight here is Dash, Spike spoke up, but he was silenced by Twilight. Twilight, what's wrong? You saw the way they reacted to Trixie. I don't want them to think that I'm a show-off. Twilight looked worriedly at her friends, but didn't notice that Naruto overheard her and thought to speak to her later. Rainbow Dash flew up to Trixie on stage. So, great and powerful Trixie. What makes you think you're so awesome anyway? She asked. Why, only the great and powerful Trixie has magic strong enough to vanquish the dreaded Ursa Major. Trixie told the crowd of how she defended the ponies of Hoofington from the beast while using her magic and fireworks to illustrate. Every pony were amazed, especially Snips and Snails, but Spike was still skeptical. Haha, that's right. Trixie is the most talented pony in all of Equestria. Her declaration was met with silence. Don't believe the great and powerful Trixie? Trixie laughed haughtily. Well then, I hereby challenge you, Ponyvillians. Anything you do, I can do better. Any takers? Or is Trixie destined to be the greatest equine who ever lived? Once again with fanfare and fireworks, which was really getting on Naruto's nerves, Spike desperately clung on to Twilight. Please Twilight. You have to show her what you can do. I can't take it anymore. Twilight still refused to stand up to the arrogant unicorn. Naruto knew that she was more concerned about her friends than about Trixie. However, she caught the attention of the unicorn. How about you? Twilight gulped nervously. Well. Is there anything you can do that the great and powerful Trixie can't? Trixie continued to taunt her until Applejack finally had enough and stepped up. That's it. I can't stand any more of this. Naruto and Spike cheered her on as she stood on stage to face Trixie. Can your magical powers do this? She brought out a lasso and started to perform many tricks to the amazement of the ponies around. Then she rounded up her show by using her lasso to snare an apple from a nearby tree and pulled it over to take a bite out of it. Top that, Missy. Trixie smiled arrogantly. Before taking off her hat to reveal her horn, O ye of little talent. Watch and be amazed by the magic of Trixie. Her horn glowed purple, and one end of the rope started to move in front of Applejack like a snake while the other end went to grab an apple. The rope proceeded to hogtie the orange mare and shove the apple in her mouth. Every pony laughed at the spectacle except the Mares and Naruto, who helped Applejack get free of the rope. Then he looked angrily at Trixie for humiliating his friend. Once again, the great and powerful Trixie prevails. No need to go strutting around and showing off like that. Rainbow Dash was next to take the stage. That's my job. Then she took to the air at high speed, going around a windmill and making it spin. She ascended to the sky, punching through the clouds in different patterns before performing a nosedive and landing on the stage with a rainbow floating above her. They don't call me Rainbow and Dash for nothing. Humph, when Trixie is through with you, the only thing they'll call you is loser. Trixie used her magic to manipulate the rainbow, transforming it into a whirlwind and surrounded Rainbow Dash with it. The whirlwind took her for a spin in midair before landing back on the ground, where she laid on the ground both dizzy and sick. Seems like any pony with a dash of sense would think twice before tussling with the great Trixie. Trixie summoned a small thundercloud which struck lightning on Rainbow Dash, making her yelp in pain and the crowd laugh. Naruto's anger was reaching boiling point. Come on. We need a unicorn who can face her on equal grounds. Spike spoke up with Rainbow agreeing with him. Yeah. A unicorn to show this unicorn who's boss. Applejack followed up with her own statement. A real unicorn to unicorn tussle. Naruto was about to finish up by saying who it should be. That's right, a unicorn like Dash, but he was interrupted by Rarity. Enough, all of you. I take your hint, but Rarity is above such nonsense. Naruto facehoofed at how wrong she was at thinking that they were talking about her. Applejack and Rainbow Dash may behave like ruffians. But Rarity conducts herself with class. Oh, what's the matter? Afraid that you'll get a hair out of place in that rat's nest you call a mane? Naruto let out a gasp, with the time spent with the mare. He knew to never make fun of her sense of fashion as it will lead to trouble. Rarity had a look of anger on her face. Oh, it is on. She climbed to the stage and brushed by Trixie. You may think you're tough with all of your so-called powers, but there is more to magic than your brutish ways. A unicorn needs to be more than just muscle. A unicorn needs to have style. Rarity used her magic to grab a curtain and spun it around her, and in an instant she wore a appealing dress and a new hairstyle which even stunned Naruto. A unicorn is not a unicorn without grace and beauty. Rarity won't let Trixie get the best of her. She's strong, appealing, she's Dash. Spike was cheering for her when Trixie cast a spell on Rarity's hair which caused every pony to gasp, making her feel very uncomfortable. Oh Kami, Naruto whispered softly. Someone get me a mirror. What did she do to my hair? Rarity started to panic. Nothing, said Twilight. It's fine, said Rainbow Dash. It's gorgeous, said Applejack. It's green. Naruto quickly wrapped his tail around Spike's mouth while the others glared at him, but it was too late as Rarity had heard it and ran off crying. Ha, that's what you get for challenging the great and powerful Trixie. Is there any pony else that would like to face me? She then turned her attention back to Twilight, or maybe a pony like you could even stand a chance against me. Twilight took a few steps back in fear of the attention. This caused Naruto to finally snap. That does it. Naruto shouted. He climbed up to the stage whilst glaring at Trixie, which made her feel a bit uncomfortable. I've had it with the way you humiliated my friends just to show off how good you are. Let's see you face me instead. Twilight and the others were surprised, as they had never seen Naruto this angry before. Humph, then why don't you show me what kind of magic you can do, taunted Trixie. Gladly, said Naruto. He raised a forehoof to the air and called out, Chakura-ho. Chakra cannon. A rune appeared at his hoof before firing a large orb into the air. This surprised every pony except his friends who knew about his abilities. Not yet, Chakura no Dangon, Sakusha. Chakra bullet, rapid fire. He launched a barrage of smaller orbs into the air as well, then he used a telekinesis spell to manipulate the orbs, making the smaller orbs orbit around the larger one, like a solar system. "Let's see you handle this one," Naruto smirked at the unicorn. "Oh, we'll see. Alright." Trixie used her own telekinesis to wrest control over the orbs from Naruto, much to his and the other surprise. How can she do that? It takes a lot of magic power to do that, and she did it with no problem. Twilight was stunned at what she was seeing. Trixie then changed the orbit of the orbs, think of the atom, before clashing together, which resulted in a small explosion, knocking Naruto off the stage from the blast and to the ground. The Mares went to check if he was alright. "Naruto, are you okay?" asked Twilight worriedly. Naruto shook his head to clear his thoughts. "Yeah, I'm fine, but Naruto looked dejected. "I failed. I could have defended you girls but rather made it worse." Naruto got up and left the town square sadly. Twilight felt guilty for what happened and left as well. Trixie was boasting upon seeing that there were no more challengers. Ha! Once again, the great and powerful Trixie has proven herself to be the most amazing pony in all of Equestria. She strutted off the stage. Was there any doubt? When she got off the stage, Trixie thought of the blonde stallion. That unicorn had a lot of power. It took a lot of magic to take control of his spell from him. I'd better keep an eye on him. Naruto was walking alongside Scootaloo, who was happy to see her brother towards the Uzumaki mansion. He was thinking back on his encounter with Trixie. I guess I can't deny her talents. Maybe she did vanquish the Ursa Major. He stopped in the middle of the road. Now that I think about it, what is an Ursa Major? I'd better it out in the library at home. Naruto broke from his thoughts when Scootaloo called out to him. "Big bro, aren't you coming?" asked Scootaloo in curiosity. "Sorry, I'm coming." Naruto trotted to catch up and continued on their way home. Later that night, Naruto tucked Scootaloo in bed after talking to her about the things which he had seen and done at Canterlot over a hearty dinner. Then he went to the library to read on the Ursa Major, but he wasn't able to find info about the creature. Maybe I should check up with Twilight on it tomorrow at the Ponyville library, Naruto said to himself. He walked out of the library and to his bedroom. He was just about to fall asleep when he heard an earth-shaking roar, causing him to jump from his bed in surprise. What the hey was that? Scootaloo came barging through the door. "Big bro, what was that roar?" asked Scootaloo, looking scared. Naruto wrapped his tail around her for reassurance. "Don't worry about it, I'll go and check out the source of that roar. So just stay in your room until I come back, okay?" Scootaloo nodded before running to her bedroom and locking the door. After exiting the mansion, Naruto took to the rooftops to locate the source of the roar. Sure enough, he saw what looked to be a giant blue grizzly bear, but its body looked it was made of stars and is currently chasing Trixie, much to his confusion. I guess that must be the Ursa Major, but is it doing here? And most importantly, why isn't Trixie dealing with it like she was supposed to? Naruto frowned slightly as he watched Trixie run from the beast, and he noticed Snips and Snail standing nearby watching. Naruto landed next to them. What's going on, and how did that Ursa Major get into town? Naruto looked at the foals sternly. We brought the Ursa Major to Ponyville to see if Trixie can vanquish it like she told us before, said Snips. Naruto had a look of shock before it turned into anger. He was about to yell at them when he heard Twilight come up from behind. You did what? As much as I want to issue a punishment, we have to deal with the current situation. Twilight took off with Naruto right behind her. They soon came upon Trixie being cornered by the Ursa Major as it swung its claw, intending to crush her. Without thinking, Naruto gathered chakra to his hooves and ran to stand in between them. Protect! A barrier appeared to block the claw, but it started to crack under the weight. Whoa, this bear is stronger than I thought. When the barrier finally shattered, Naruto launched a chakra-infused uppercut at the claw, causing it to stumble backwards before wrapping his tail around Trixie and jumping away. What do you think you're doing? Naruto was glaring at Trixie. By then a crowd had gathered around. Aren't you supposed to vanquish the Ursa Major like before, or is there something you aren't telling us? We don't have to worry, I'm sure the great and powerful Trixie will save us, said Snips. Trixie looked at the ground guiltily, which Naruto and others noticed. I can't, a collective gasp could be heard from the crowd. I had never vanquished an Ursa Major, I just made it up to make myself look better. Naruto looked at her sternly. You mean to tell us that you lied this whole time? Trixie nodded sadly, then the Ursa Major let out a roar and charged at them. Naruto reacted by launching a full-body tackle on the head of the bear, which sent it skidding back. This annoyed it as the Major started to swing at the blonde stallion who was dodging left and right to avoid the attacks. What can I do to contain the Major? Should I expose my secret? Naruto was torn between exposing his abilities to the town and stopping the bear. Then he heard a melody from behind. What is that sound? Naruto turned to see Twilight using her magic to play a lullaby on some broken reeds. The song was making the Ursa Major sleepy as it rocked back and forth. Was a calm look on its face. Naruto was also affected by the lullaby, but his ninja training kept him awake. He then heard a creaking sound and looked up to see a water tower floating above while surrounded by a purple aura. It must be Twilight's doing. She then levitated the water tower through a barn full of cows, filling it with milk before hovering before the Ursa Major. It soon fell asleep while sucking on the milk from the water tower like a makeshift baby bottle. Soon the crowd cheered for Twilight upon seeing her stop the rampage of the Ursa Major. Naruto along with Applejack and the other Maras walked up to her. Unbelievable. Rainbow Dash was impressed at the display. That was amazing, said Spike, ecstatic at Twilight finally showing off her magic in front of every pony. Heavens to Betsy. We knew you had ability, but not that much. Applejack looked at Twilight with admiration. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. Twilight looked worried, much to the confusion of the Maras. What do you mean by that? Asked Rarity. Well, I know how much you all hated Trixie showing off with her magic tricks, and I just thought Dash. Rainbow Dash cut her off from her line of speech. Whoa. Magic has got nothing to do with it. Trixie's just a loudmouth, said Rainbow Dash with the others nodding in agreement. Twilight looked at them in surprise. So, you don't mind my magic tricks? Magic is just a part of who you are. We like who you are and we're proud of having such a powerful, talented unicorn as our friend, said Applejack. And after whoopin' that Ursa's hindquarters, we're even prouder, said Rainbow Dash. Naruto added his piece as well. Besides, we can proudly tell ponies that we're best friends with a unicorn who can subdue an Ursa Major, said Naruto with a foxy grin. Twilight smiled happily at their reassurance. Actually, Naruto, this isn't an Ursa Major but an Ursa Minor, a baby. In other words, every pony were surprised upon hearing this piece of information. You mean that was just a baby, said Trixie. If this was a minor, then I'd hate to meet the Major, said Spike, shivering at the thought of it. Now let's get it back to the cave. Twilight was about to walk away along with Applejack and the others, when they saw Naruto standing there and thinking deeply with an uncomfortable look on his face. What's bugging you, Naruto? Asked Rainbow Dash. It's about what Twilight said. If the Ursa Minor is a baby, wouldn't that make the Ursa Major its mother and that it would be out looking for its child? The Maras paled upon hearing his statement. Soon they heard a loud roar from outside the town. Naruto jumped to a roof while Rainbow Dash flew upwards to look. Their eyes widened at what they saw. Approaching the town was a grizzly bear that looked similar to the Ursa Minor but bigger with long fangs and purple in color. They quickly descended to meet the others. There is an Ursa Major coming this way, said Rainbow Dash frantically. What should we do? Asked Rarity. Well, we can't have it come any closer to Ponyville, so we have to get the Ursa Minor back to its cave, said Twilight. I have an idea, but you are not going to like it. The girls turned to Naruto, who was looking back at them with determination. I'll go and distract the Major while you girls get the minor back to its cave, then I'll lure it there as well. To say they were surprised would be an understatement. Even Trixie spoke up after hearing it. Are you crazy? Even the royal army wouldn't be enough, and you want to face it on your own? Naruto looked at her sternly. Well, we don't have much options right now, so we have to make do with what we got. Naruto turned to meet the giant bear. I'm going on ahead, so don't worry about me. Alright Naruto, just don't go doing anything crazy, you hear, said Applejack with Rainbow Dash agreeing with her. Yeah. We still haven't had our daily challenge yet. Naruto grinned at them before running off. Naruto, please be careful. Twilight looked at the departing stallion before heading out with the Mares following her. Spike was about to head back to the library when he noticed that someone was missing. Hey, where's Trixie? He looked around to see that the unicorn was gone. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 3. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Hussbek on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.